Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Medical records.
My husband is real, goddammit.
Medical
I don't know
records.
his full name.
I mean, listen, you got okay.
Yeah, well, not that.
What's the name of the doctor?
Although
Wait,
license
why
is
is
actually
Blaine County on that side?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God, I fucking knew it.
Uh,
Collusion.
No.
Just send me a text
Alright.
message saying that you give consent for me to get your medical.
Judge, maybe
All
yes.
right.
You could be a judge, yeah, but you'd have to go through the process for that.
I already texted
You
you.
can't
Is that
just
you,
become
Robin?
a justice. We
Yep.
typically we don't hire like just anyone to become a justice. You know.
Oh boy, I have a question.
I don't know. I think.
Yeah.
Has anyone told you you're doing
It's a whole lot of people here.
Mm-hmm.
What are you playing at?
I would have guessed around 108.
I just want a yes or no
Yeah.
answer.
Okay.
Don't be nice to me.
Yeah, this is wild.
I'm
new today.
not going to tell you you're doing a good job.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Then yes,
that,
no
Bones?
one has told me.
10 hours straight of court.
Okay. Thank you.
10 hours straight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have another case after that. Well, not another case. I have to hear the LSPD after this.
Yeah, I gotta be there, and then I gotta be here for a deposition too.
Oh, you're getting deposed or what?
I don't think I'm getting deposed.
Oh, for present part.
I probably will be there.
Bungle.
It's Hayes.
Okay.
My bad. I'll try snatch last next time.
Well, good luck. Need water?
Jamarius.
Thank you for the offer.
Yes,
I'm
Mr.
sure I
Grayson?
will get poisoned before the case.
Mr. Grayson?
Not related to who?
Did you hear? Why Quingo look like a pimp named Slickback?
Nino.
Did you say Stannis Baratheon?
Chastity, you're missing some melanin.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, I was thinking about something. What's up?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, my
maybe you
God,
will.
your
Who knows?
We don't hire just anybody to be a justice.
Oh.
You like that?
She literally doesn't hire anybody to be a justice.
Yeah.
They literally hired one like 2 hours ago.
Yo, then put the vest on. You look white, brother.
Big
LSPD in the cut. Where my gang?
Yo, what's up, Carmine? Over here. Over here.
Big LSPD.
Ooh.
Woo.
Yo.
It's my set.
Are you wearing the same
Looking
suit
very
from the last trial?
there, Mr. Grayson.
Come on.
No, I want to be like.
Where's my
I should've
$10,000?
took your ass to prison. What the fuck are you wearing?
Yes, sir, Sheriff?
I ain't keeping shit shut.
Trust me, I'm good.
Angel, you got this. Stomp him out, Angel.
Angel's on our side?
Oh, hi.
Angel's on our side?
Yeah, she's defending the legislation. She's
What?
big
I
LSPD
thought-
right now.
I thought that she wasn't on our side.
Oh, hi, Quingo.
Oh, and like at 2 hours, she's not.
So am I not hating the... So what?
Yeah, what's up?
What you
It's
trying to
going
do,
good. How are
twerp?
you going?
What you trying to do, punk?
Twerp? That's cold.
Oh, you should be a little bit more professional.
You try to schmooze up
Yeah.
on our banner woman?
I'm not your banner woman.
Yes, you are. You're fighting for our cause right now,
I'm
okay?
fighting for the status quo. I
Shut
don't
the
know
fuck
about
up.
Exactly. That's us right now. We are the status quo.
Okay,
No, you just a baby back bitch, Quingo. You just a baby back bitch.
Yeah, Quango. You ain't shit.
You ain't shit around here, Quingo. Get the
You
fuck to the other
got
side,
me
bitch.
weaned off of fucking oat milk.
You 10 kg skinny little rugrat. Get the fuck behind the fucking wooden fence,
Hey,
bitch.
back the fuck up, okay? before
Hey,
we have
you
problems.
leave him
I
alone.
swear to
You
God,
leave him
I'ma scrap
alone.
you.
10 kilograms soaking wet, brother.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it.
You stop.
My ears hurt.
Carmine Bobby. Carmine Bobby.
See? This is what this whole court case is about. Cause stuff like this.
No, you know what this court case is about? It's about you bitching. It's
Bobby?
about your goddamn
Bobby?
blade shifting your complaining.
Bobby.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
only there were senior
Yes,
officers
ma'am.
to tell them to shut up.
Yeah, you guys need to start acting like fucking adults.
Bobby, are you planning on speaking today?
I hope so.
If you have another outburst like that, I will ask you to leave and go on patrol until you are able to speak.
I love Moss, dude.
Sorry, everyone. I've been asking for for 2 minutes, so
Hey, Vic.
Marshall Lockhart can reach under her chair to grab pizza. Peters? I never said that. Alright,
I'll testify.
Spins
I'll
out.
testify that.
Keep an eye on Bobby and Carmine. If I have to listen to them yap through this, they won't be in this room.
Oh, Carmine,
Come on,
come
give
here
me
real quick.
fucking 10K.
Let me just tell you something, right?
Sorry.
Give me 10K.
Is that
The only reason
gonna tell me? Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why don't you talk to them, right? But we're about to get started.
Hello,
Later. That's okay.
Yeah, you're dressed nice.
Come to join the fun.
This is a lot of people.
Yeah.
On a positive note,
Yeah.
I contested the expungement legislation.
Your Honor, can I be your bailiff?
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Fucking poggers.
So that's been posted today. So it is basically I'm going to be
Your Honor.
arguing an amendment
Can we have
that heinous
Cliff
acts
for our
be
department
reviewed on
too?
a case-by-case basis.
Alright, shut the fuck up.
Versus just a resounding.
No,
Your
I'm not
Honor,
putting
as you can
myself
hear, the
forward.
bailiff is
I can
very
volunteer as
verbally
tribute.
combative.
All
right, Bobby, go out on duty.
Yep. You see, there goes
I think
Bobby. I
it's
told
just
you.
good for
Bobby.
everybody,
I told
you
you.
know, like
I
there will
told you.
be. I think
Your
there'll
Honor,
be
if you
plenty
would
of times where
please
it's
the court and
denied, you
the
know,
gentleman and
like
women behind
their
me, we could have a state
expungement
marshal
for
as
it.
the bailiff for
But I think
neutrality.
everybody should get an opportunity if they really want to change
Yes,
their
please.
lives.
Yeah.
And busy places.
I can if I need to.
Okay, you're not a state marshal.
Honorary marshal. I am.
That's
I
the
am
meaningless
an
title.
honorary
I
marshal.
believe very.
We've got some Department of Correction officers
here.
Wait, what? Hey, DOC, welcome aboard.
Easy.
We have some DOC, yeah, I'll do
DOC?
bailiff stuff, but we also have some
DOC?
DOC
Okay.
here.
DOC is fine too.
Beautiful people, you all are beautiful.
Get down, old bailiff.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a handful of
Hey.
marshals, Justice Art, and DOC that are more than willing to do it.
everyone here to handle things if necessary. Especially the man with the glowing glasses.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You like my glasses. I appreciate that.
I do.
Great compliment. Thank you.
All right. Hello. For formality and because it's fun, here's a gavel. We're all here summoned today for the audit of our piece of legislation. I'm not sure how many of you are prepared to speak. However, to start off, to be so clear here, this is not a court case in a traditional sense. This will not be the same back and forth you might be used to. I do not want objections. That is not what this is. I will weigh everything on the merits that I understand to have. If there are any concerns about how I'm handling it, you're welcome to call for a pause for a moment to come up and speak with me.
I can still hear Bob. No.
For anyone who has not read the legislation of powers and definitions of law enforcement officers, I recommend you do so if you have any intention of speaking.
You're really
You know what you're
quiet.
speaking on.
Can you speak up, please?
Unfortunately, this is what we've got. Unless we have a microphone.
BCSO having hearing issues.
Oh, I do.
Let's go.
I have it from the debate yesterday.
Here.
Sorry.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
How convenient.
People will be talking in the courtroom.
Yes, they will.
No matter how hard I try.
My favorite thing about court cases, it lets me get my lunch and or dinner in,
Yeah.
depending
I'm
on which
putting
one I
on
choose to do.
I'm putting a permanent one instead.
You're not the strange one.
Goat, my goat, my goat.
My goat, my goat. That's our captain.
Which in turn means that
What's going on?
I don't have to take a break in between. Yeah!
I think there's too many people here.
Legislative audit of powers and definitions of law enforcement officers.
You feel me, chat? You feel me?
I had to guess.
You on that?
There's about 120 people here. Hopefully this allows everyone
No.
the opportunity to read the legislation in which we are
No.
discussing. Hey Tyler, I got
Do you usually sit or stand or like?
I have to clear some people out.
That's amazing.
You know, if they're not planning on speaking.
But apparently they might be discussing another way what you can get it without a subpoena. Maybe.
Try that. Does that work? Does it work? Come from this.
Hello. I think this is working. Do I sound better now?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. This was great. Thank you very much, Captain.
Thanks, Drake.
All right. back to it. Has everyone had the chance to read up on the legislation?
It's 3.
My apologies.
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. In that case, considering this is a first for this, I will leave it up to Angel right now to decide whether or not you'd like to speak first, since this is very stacked against you. Would you like to combat this after I've allowed everyone to speak, or come to the floor first?
I would like a chance to present a little bit about what the purpose of this legislation is for, and why it needs to be remains. And I think that it would be good if the court allowed me a chance to refute or respond to arguments or comments as is necessary.
Well, then for now, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. I'm going to stand in the middle and turn around to approach everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Justice Angel. I am a justice of the San Andreas Department of Justice, and I am one of the authors for the Powers and Definitions of Law Enforcement Officers. Now, for those of you who may not be aware of the purpose of this legislation, as is all things, powers of individuals and the authorities that they represent need to be expressed in one way or another. And the way that these powers are expressed is through the Constitution. The Constitution is the blueprint for which our city is built upon. And through the Constitution, we will extrapolate and create legislation that enacts its law and provides a way to have the authorities that are inside of it expressed in a more defined and clear way. That is to say, the Constitution is a founding document, and the legislation that comes forth from it is the meat and bones, if you will, the furniture inside the house. Now, this specific piece of legislation is very important as it allows law enforcement officers the authority to enforce the law in their respective jurisdictions. There are 2 counties and 1 state that we all live in, is Los Santos County and Blaine County. The Los Santos County is responsible for its own public services, and included in that is the police department.
Want to hand these
and
books
the same
out?
goes respectively for Blaine County. So the whole point of this legislation is to enumerate the powers that are afforded to a law enforcement officer, what they can do, and what their express abilities are. Now, obviously, this state has always allowed for what's referred to a unified police department, is what it used to be called in the past, which is to say that the BCSO and the LSPD, PBSO, and all those other apartments were nothing more than cosmetic choices. Just another place for you to go to reside under specific high command with no difference in your day-to-day. They all abided by the state law. There was no county laws to even refer to, and there was no such thing as jurisdiction. Now, that all changed with our new constitution that explicitly defined there to be 3 separate jurisdictions. 1, the state of San Andreas, which is all-encompassing. It covers everything within its jurisdiction, which would be the 2 counties. These 2 jurisdictions are Los Santos and Blaine County, respectively. Now, with that being said, every single county does have its own law enforcement agency, which we're all very well familiar with. And this legislation grants them the authority to enforce their laws and the laws of the states in these territories. One of the most important things that this legislation... Oh, let me use this. One of the most important things that this legislation does do is it allows there to be autonomy between these 2 individual areas. That is to say, Blaine County Sheriff's Office is not beholden to the Los Santos Police Department with regards to the structure of its departments, their SOPs, or how they are run.
Hey, the agenda's fucking tight right now, man.
Yeah, no worries.
We got some shit coming up that we have to handle,
Yeah.
and
all right, let me.
maybe we can meet after that. Yeah, you gonna be
okay.
around today for a long?
Yeah, I'm gonna be around. Yeah, just give me a call.
All right. Apologies.
All right. No worries.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
They are independent law enforcement officers. They are responsible to their own jurisdictional authority, and they are not required to answer to another county. Now, the specific sections that are outlined and contest here are not this entire document, but more specifically a sub-authority and what it means. Currently, as is defined in the legislation, a sub-authority is someone that is enforcing the laws of a county that may not inherently have jurisdiction in, but that jurisdiction is granted to them as a result of this legislation. That means that LSPD may go north and they can enforce the laws of Blaine County as a sub-authority to BCSO. and the same vice versa. BCSO may come down to Los Santos County and enforce Los Santos County laws as a sub-authority to the LSPD. Additionally, sub-authorities must defer to the primary authority in any matter of conflicts or overlapping jurisdiction that might occur, which is to say, a BCSO officer or deputy may not come in and take over jurisdictional authorities from an LSPD person who is trying to operate a scene or do something in their particular area. Now, granted, everything I'm saying does not necessarily apply to the state marshals, but they are not really the point of contention here, so I will not be mentioning them. Ultimately, this legislation is important as it allows the police departments to maintain their sense of
Crazy, 'cause
autonomy.
just everything
It
she
allows
says
them
makes
to
sense.
operate in the way that they deem necessary and important for their specific county, and it allows them to remain separate from the influence of those who do not reside in that county or who do not work for that specific county. Now, there is something to be said with regards to the enforcement of state law and the authority of how that works. And it's important to note that we do not think that it would be good for people to be completely locked out of independent jurisdictions, which is why these sub-authorities are granted, allowing Blaine County to enforce state laws in LSPD and vice versa. But they still must defer to LSPD and vice versa in other jurisdictionals to make sure that they are following the SOPs. And
2 grenades. Oh my God! Remember? Remember when Tugs had his court
I
case?
understand what I said is a bit of a confusing word salad, and that's completely understandable if you didn't follow everything that I said.
I don't think it was
I'm
confusing
sure
at
as
all.
more arguments are
she
presented in
was
the
very
opposing side,
clear
you will
about
understand
it.
a little bit more clearly as to the goal of this. But I do not believe that this legislation should be changed. I think it is very important that we continue the status quo, ensure autonomy of police departments from each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Angel.
Fuck yeah, Angel.
All right, now to start, I have read over the initial docket posting regarding this, but could one representative who would like to put forward the exact request for that come out here and read it out for the entire courtroom and myself?
Intermission. This stream is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Protect yourself and the Constitution of San Andreas with expressvpn.com/dasMEHDI. 3 months for free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Encrypt your internet. Mask your IP address. Minimize your ping and lag. Prevent ISP throttling. And one account can be used on all your devices. expressvpn.com/dasMEHDI.
All right. So the request that we submitted
Such good timing.
is as follows. As of September 30th, 2024, the sub-authority clause of the legislation states verbatim.
Bro, that was like on point.
Enforce the laws of Los Santos.
He waited for me. Master Beep, thank you for the 4 months, man. Scout, thank you for the 53. Gizmo with the 21. I Shepherd 26.
People find
Gap
that the
with the
wording
prime.
of this clause creates an overwhelming effect where it can be easily interpreted to disallow members of law enforcement departments to contribute and serve the community as a whole. This can lead to extreme constitutional violations of our rights and freedoms, such as the right to health and protection of others, right to dignity, right to a fair trial and due process, and the article of legislative authorities. This has proven to be a deficient and detrimental issue that
what
infringes
the
upon
fuck?
the people of San Andreas, and thus the people motion to amend the legislation to the following.
How is this?
BCSO and LSBT may patrol and enforce the laws of the
This
state of
is
San
the
Andreas
best that they
in
got?
state jurisdiction.
This is their all star.
Have full jurisdiction and authority over the territory.
These are not. How is this the people? You're not the people when you're operating under. Yeah.
Conflict or overlapping jurisdiction. The BCSO may patrol and enforce the laws of Los Santos County, but will defer to high command members from both BCSO and LSPD in matters where a situation warrants the addition of the BCSO in Los Santos County as a co-authority. The LSPD may patrol and enforce the laws of Blaine County, but will defer to high command members from both BCSO and LSPD in matters where a situation warrants the addition of the LSPD in Blaine County as a co-authority. As such, the law enforcement officer determines the responsibility of the addition of other officers per county in the state of San Andreas. We find that this amendment will allow the people of San Andreas to be fully protected by law enforcement departments of the state, and thus motion to amend the clause.
Understood. Thank Thank you.
I'll go back.
All right. So I understand the amendment request that you're attempting to make. At this point, whoever is ready to speak on this is welcome to do so.
I would like to speak.
From the BCSO.
Oh
to begin.
no.
Further feedback after the fact. But probably
Yeah.
not to you. I don't want to hear your voice comment.
All right. Well,
I pay my taxes.
I'll begin before we get to people's personal issues with this. I have a lot of this documented because it is a lot to follow. In the amendment procedure, we mentioned that this has been, or that this can lead to constitutional violations. To start with, it was the right to health and protection of others. The current legislation, we believe, has allowed and can allow in the future the inability of all first responders to respond. The use of jurisdictions and sub-authorities has not been used as a tool to help both counties, but have active. Sorry, let me say this again. The use of jurisdictions and sub-authorities has been not as a tool to help both counties have active units in the area, but to hinder the patrols of any first responder. Similarly, the confusion around shifting scene leads, 9-to-5s changing hands, could delay medical for suspects if a scene did not turn into a huge ordeal because of an LSPD officer invoking the SOP. The next one's going to be right to dignity. Citizens of both counties should not be treated differently depending on where they reside. No one should have to worry about who is responding to their call depending on the department they're in, as to whether or not they'll get treated with the utmost respect and impartialness. The next one's right to fair trial and due process. When units from one county can't complete their duties to the fullest because they are a sub-authority in the county they're responding in, that leaves the citizens at risk of being treated without the full extent of the law in mind. Again, this can go back to how 95s from a scene started from one county, gets taken from another county, and when they're being processed without the correct due diligence and the full knowledge of the scene, it causes issues. A few reports and incidents that I have as example.
Notice how it's all law enforcement? Who's the people?
Yes, do you have those reports?
But are you asking me or are you asking someone else? I'm so sorry.
No, it's just since you brought it up, I was wondering where you were going with it.
Well, I'll just give like a brief summary because these are all reports that have been affected. But again, this is report 13052. LSPD had low numbers, and for about 10 minutes there were 911s going on from Senior Buns.
No!
BCSO deputy to go on main frequency to let them know what was going on to respond. And unfortunately, individual was found dead on the scene because no one responded to get them treatment.
He literally said they went onto main frequency.
Needing a 24/7 call. The suspects had a PD weapon. And when it went into the county, Los Angeles County, LSPD took over the scene, and BCSO units broke off. Or sorry, because the LSPD took over the scene, but then they broke off units immediately to go to a raid. And in that actual report, there's no statement submitted by the LSPD officers that took over the scene. Report 13560, where BCSO deputies responding to a Fleeca bank robbery. LSPD officers were monitoring our frequency until it crossed over into Ellis County. Once it went
It doesn't matter. If you're a law enforcement, you represent the government, and therefore referring to yourself as the people is blurring the lines on a very obvious distinction.
That's our max cap in our SOPs.
At the end of the day, they
Again,
could have
no
responded
LSPD
to
units
these
submitted
things.
any statements
On your-
or evidence in that report.
Chose not to.
Report 13513 was another 24/7 robbery that was then taken over by LSD officers. Again, no statements provided by LSPD.
Well, it's different when it's like the DA, because the DA is
again,
representing the
another
people.
24/7 robbery.
Yeah.
They started the pursuit. Once it entered the city, the scene was taken over by an officer,
Mhm.
and BCSO broke off. Officers then had no context to the scene and charged suspects with the wrong charges. And then the final one would be incident 9935. The BCSO were making negotiations at a robbery into which they said they would not. They made the call to not open fire on a vehicle.
This is only the last 4 or 5
Once
days,
it
Moss.
entered Ellis County, the LSPD High Command made the call to open fire on the vehicle after it's been negotiated not to, which caused a lot of issues. There's a couple more points I want to touch on real quick. For example, when this decision was made, well,
I want to point out that he was
So,
never originally on the
because of
docket
how
either.
vague the definitions are in a legislation called Power of Definitions, it has opened up the interpretation, specifically by LSPD High Command, to create their own SOPs and make their own definition for what should already be defined. And including that has caused more issues. For example, they have said that senior officers have say over anybody from BCSO while in Ellis County. It's caused obviously an obvious divide.
I mean, I can make it. I
It's
can make it everybody. I can make it
our
Cadets Plus, but I don't
certifications
think they'd like
and
that.
cert leads and all that. But the funny, well, I shouldn't say funny.
Hey,
The
Moss, quick question about
strange
that.
thing
Aren't
is
they the
that
ones
all
that
these
made
decisions
that
were made for shift
own
1 and shift 2.
department SOP for themselves, but they
but
can't come down here unless some
the
gates?
High Command said that
Yeah.
shift 3 would not be affected.
I thought I
because
remember
they work well
a
together.
deputy saying something about
And
that.
I'll
I
be
think it's
talking about
of
it.
the opinion of
Okay,
most people here
good.
that
Just wanted to make
if
sure.
Shift
Yeah.
3 can do it, why can't we?
Oh my
I
God.
can point out the whole like
Another
them
just
leaving EMS to
kind of
bleed.
statement.
on
They need
radio,
our
like,
help, and we
they
need theirs.
explicitly said they're not
But they're
gonna
actively pushing this
respond to that one
maliciously, and
time.
then people are getting hurt. That
I'll-
goes back
I'll
to
mention
the
it.
person that died at Senior Buns. That goes to the EMS who bravoed and for 10 minutes got no one to respond. And when someone from BCSO was going, they got called off because they weren't in this. They weren't supposed to be in the city. When it comes to how we stated that it should be down,
I
deferred
would
to both
love.
the BCSO and LSP High Command. That's
Yo,
because
Nino should go up there and be like,
things need to be agreed upon by both departments. There's no overlapping
BCSO to
and
my
this
dick,
goes as well with
and
the,
then
like,
get off the
leads.
mic.
Obviously, the jurisdictions will have different
Right.
laws, but everyone can uphold those different laws. And there's going to be one more thing that I want to present before more people speak.
There's things-
We did, with short notice, we did collect signatures for a petition. And since starting this petition, the High Command from LSPD has stated
There's things I
that
imagine
anyone
in
from
my head
LSPD
that
who
I just
signed that
find
petition,
hilarious.
fired, and they can go to the BCSO.
And as I normally do in RP, I do whatever I think is funny, and if people think it's funny, so be it. But
I mean, I guess it's
holy
like a
fuck,
verbal
man!
signature.
I wish I was on Ryan Kindle.
Peters like this.
Hey, Moss, are you gonna find me and yourself?
I do want to state one more thing. While working
Nobody's
on
being
this amendment,
fired.
we had officers come to us with concerns and also help us with it. They were so scared that because they didn't want to get found out for working on this, that before they even started working on it, they came to our command and high command for job security reasons, because they were scared that if it was found out that they were working on it, that they'd get fired. But I can
Full
give you this
story.
petition with signatures if
Sure.
you'd like. Can someone else give it to her? I mean, I can try.
I guess you're fired, Moss. For signing it.
Here, Victor, if you want to give it to her.
Oh, 7 Chief.
That's fine. I'll fire myself.
Wait, wait,
I guess
is
I
that
could've read it out
representative?
myself, but yeah, that's all for me. If you want to read the petition, and other people can start speaking.
Sure, I will. Whoever is ready next, you have the floor. From the BCSO again.
Why does Angel get 1 go and the BCSO get like 5?
Hey guys.
God.
My name
Someone
is,
needs to do the
Deputy,
baby.
Josh Cade, and I come here to speak my mind, speak my opinion about this. I'm not a very political man, I must say. I'm more of a hands-on approach kind of guy. You know, when I joined this department, I wanted to tackle all crime being committed everywhere and anywhere. You know, I'm a man of the people. I like to believe. But you know, life has been made hard. You know, sometimes I see all these drug calls going on in the city, you know, on Forum, on Carson, wherever they may be. And I think of you know, these old women.
Yeah, dude, I was just trying to like patrol down in the south, dude, because they like no crime up north and shit.
And then two, 3 days later, she might die. And me knowing that, you know, I could respond to this and, you know, tackle this. But
oh my God,
sometimes,
dude.
you know, I have to, you know, I have to be wary of my job. I could go down there and do something, you know, and LSPD not be happy with it.
Wait,
and, you know,
Raya.
they could suspend me. But I don't want to lose my job. You know, I want to catch these guys. And sometimes sometimes it's hard to, I just don't want to get fired. This is my job. I love my job. And knowing that they could fire me,
Well,
it really ain't that bad.
it's terrifying.
I wouldn't watch a porn
I just
if
want
they're
to catch these people.
Oh my God, oh
And
boy.
like,
Fired by a different.
has anyone got a tissue, please? Please, you have a tissue?
I have a tissue. I have a tissue. Here you go.
Please.
Thank
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mr.
Mayor?
Yourself, I
Yep,
understand.
thank you.
Yep.
Are these guys required to get vaccinated? Because I think he has brain rot.
Holy fuck, the BCSO.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
Don't worry, it's gonna be okay.
Oh my God! What the fuck? What is he doing to him?
It's gonna be
You're
okay.
a good man, I think he's applying the
It's gonna
vaccine
be
now,
okay.
just
Don't-
in an unorthodox
don't you cry.
way.
It's wrong for us, Mr. Deputy.
Wait, what? Wait, what is? Wait, what? Wait, what's? What are they?
Blow
your nose, I can hear it running from here.
I don't even.
Yeah, I just,
I need an adult.
you know,
Courtroom.
I'm heavy on working together. There was a point in time where we all worked together and it was good. We were stopping crime. Everything was working well. You know, we all did our job. We all stopped these.
Wait, what just happened?
These drug sellers. These
even
filthy drug sellers.
Yeah.
TLT on top, guys. I miss TLT.
Thank you.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yes, you have the floor.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hello?
Tom Quango.
Classic.
It was on before, so it still is.
Well,
Yeah, Kate is
ladies and
great.
gentlemen, people of the courtroom, some of y'all might know me, some of y'all might not. I am Deputy Jamarius Quango with the BCSO. I am a PPO. I was a son. I'm a brother. I'm a friend. I'm soon to be father.
Congrats.
Thank you, thank you.
Congrats, Mango.
Congrats, Quango.
Recently, some of y'all might not know, some of y'all do know, my mother tragically passed away. God rest her soul. Rest in peace, Josephina. You have been missed dearly. We are brought here today not to be separated, but to join together once and for all what we need to be. One, not two, one. Yesterday, something tragic happened to me. I had my mother's ashes in a vial in my pocket,
What?
and a criminal stole her from me. I couldn't sleep last night. I went to go for the vial and I couldn't find it, and I remembered they took it from me.
What did the vial look like?
It doesn't matter what the vial looked like. Anyways, I was born and raised in the South. I was born in CMC. I played at the park across from the DPD, across from the marshal's office. I grew up there playing. But as of recently, it's turned very violent in the South Side. Gotham City has taken over.
Oh my God.
I've been ran out the South. I've been ran out the city. I can't even patrol without being in fear for my life or my job. The criminals, they want to kill me. I've had multiple attempts on my life. I can't even go to the city and patrol without the fear of being reprimanded by the LSPD.
Wait,
For
did you?
me just simply doing my job, I have been called
Wait,
out
the standing
multiple
judge
calls
just tweeted this.
for entering the LSPD.
Oh my God. There's not even
I
any
can't
hiding
even
it
go visit
anymore.
my childhood home for fear of being reprimanded and being dapped. But today we take a stand against Gotham City. Crime has overran our beautiful city. And the BCSO has been, we haven't been able to do anything about it.
Come to Los Santos PD. then.
Today
What
that
the
all
fuck?
changes.
Y'all up north.
So I ask everybody, please, in the courtroom, keep in mind, I just want to be able to keep everybody safe and protected in the beautiful city of Los Santos. I want to go to the south without being threatened to be killed or harm being done to me. I want to go visit my childhood home without being
Oh,
hurt.
stuttering like Porky the Pig. Oh my God. Yeah, but
I love Los Santos, and I want to make sure everybody in it's safe. Please let me do my job. I beg.
Thank you. sir.
Did you get my text?
Yeah. Hello, hi.
Yo.
I didn't plan on speaking, but after hearing Kate and Quangle's heartwarming
Tilly?
takes,
Yo,
I thought it'd be nice to say
tweet.
something.
This guy just
I want to
wants
just point
to
out that I feel like the intent of
stay
this
close
legislation isn't necessarily
to
a bad one
his,
at all. I believe that its interpretation and its use by the LSPD has been done in a wrong light and
Gangster.
it's pointing towards the wrong direction. We're talking a lot about being punished by the LSPD here, and for context, that's because the LSPD by using this legislation put out a procedure dictating that any deputy within the limits would be investigated and punished by them solely and not by BCSO High Command. This was something that was set in stone through SOPs for about 3 weeks until it was amended 2 days ago by Chief Moss. Though it was a concern that was being aired
do it again
from the beginning by myself and by other deputies.
Except
I think the misinterpretation of the legislation has led to issues that Bruce has stated amongst other ones. One that I could speak on specifically would be a time recently where I was threatened to be sent off duty and almost sent off duty because I refused to take over scene lead of a pursuit that came into Blake County, a pursuit that I had no context about, that I did not know where it stemmed from, that I did not know where it came from, that I had no further context as to what might have happened prior to it coming on our channel. But I was ordered by LSPD High Command to take the pursuit over, where I would be sent off duty. And LSPD High Command did try to do that, go through that, but it was denied. I think it speaks on instability and cracks in the foundation that would help us do our jobs. I think it opens up a light to further problems that could come from it.
Yeah, Mando, thank you for the 3 months.
Has been stretched to areas that it never was intended to, and it's sort of showing issues that could hinder our jobs, and that's what we're speaking on today. I think the petition that has been handed to Justice Hart at base just shows that officers and deputies want to cooperate and want to be able to work together and do our jobs. I feel like this legislation should represent that and also promote that. I feel like we work together cooperatively and not separated. And I hope that Justice Hart takes that into account when doing whatever decision she decides to make. And keep in mind that there has been at least one officer that has wanted to remove their name from the petition after LSPD High Command's statement about them being fired if they were to sign it. So, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for your points, sir. Is there anyone else from the contesting side that would wish to speak?
I know this is like, this is like kind of freestyling right here. We're going a little freestyle.
Yes.
But I'm just wondering, like, after Angel kind of gives her arguments back, can we just have like a final? Both sides can talk after that and get like our final thoughts on everything before you
Sure.
go back
That's
in 3
fine
minutes.
with me.
All right,
And
that'd be
then,
that'd be great.
At that point, I'll likely
definitely have
open
some
the floor
comments I'd
to
like
some
to,
others who wish to speak.
to respond with.
Of course.
At the end of the day, they're just arguing the
Is there
SOP.
anyone else who would wish to
Right.
speak from the
Yeah, there are.
The fact is that I can make internal SOPs for the LSPD regardless of jurisdictional authority.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
You gotta speak into the microphone.
Say it with your chest. You know.
Hello?
There we go.
There we go.
Hello.
How's it going? For anybody who doesn't know me, badge number 288 Petros with LSPD. Justice Hart, unfortunately I stand before you today not only as a concerned police officer within the state of Los Santos, but also as a citizen fearful of repercussions for speaking out against the injustices that have been done to my fellow officers, deputies, and those we
Nah!
The abuse of how the legislation is currently worded has had a unfortunate ripple effect throughout the Los Santos Police Department. While the Blaine County Sheriff's Office has done their absolute best to thrive in an environment that threatens their ability to perform their duties to their full capacity without the disregard for the work both Sheriff Bones and Under Sheriff Cassidy have put in, the LSPD has continued to push a narrative that has created a large divide within their own department. This lack of clarity within legislation has created overlap, gaps, and ultimately conflicts between the departments. The actions taken by command and high command members of LSPD based on the exploitation of the wording of this legislation has caused contradictory goals instead of working towards that collaborative effort and wanting to see between the departments. Having firsthand experience witnessing the differences between department morales, I've seen BCSO have a hard stance on that collaborative effort should LSPD be open to it, while I have seen LSPD reprimand their own officers for speaking against those who continue to perpetuate that divide within the law enforcement as a whole. I don't stand here today to support a change in the jurisdiction at its core, but rather to foster a greater police force for the state of Los Santos. I truly believe that revising or replacing the current legislation will promote that renewed collaboration and hopefully a stronger morale amongst all. Thank you, Justice.
Woo! That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
That is.
Wow.
I don't know what you. All right.
What is happening over in that corner, bro?
That did not sound like clapping.
Sounds, yeah, it sounds like something else.
I was clapping.
Your Honor, if I may respond to some of the things that I put in front of you.
I do. Yeah, I knew that was gonna bite me in the ass.
Hello, everyone.
That's why I said it too.
So, as you might have noticed from the last few examples and things that have been brought up and discussed, it appears to me that a lot of the issues that the members of the Blaine County Sheriff's Office have are not necessarily with the legislation itself, but rather the people occupying these positions. I would put forth a counter argument that the legislation seems written clear enough to me in regards to how it should be applied. However, if it is true that the high commands of LSPD are operating or creating SOPs in such a way as to cause harm to the citizens and to cause damage to the people and the effectiveness of law enforcement, would it not rather be more appropriate for the Blaine County Sheriff's Office to file a specific impeachment against the individuals in question, detailing why they have been causing this harm to people, and detailing the specific examples, rather than trying to change the legislation that is pretty clear on its application and provide specific and clear authority to each departments to operate as they need to. I find that the need to change the legislation is not as drastic as it would be to potentially remove bad actors from the system that are abusing or potentially causing damage to citizens with their mismanagements. Again, I'm speaking only to if these allegations were true. I am not saying that they are true.
Yo, I love the bit where Riot.
With that being said,
Obviously, I know the Riot situation, but like Nino doesn't. But the whole like, it's so funny.
Directly calling out the individuals, It is the path of least resistance, which people
How
are,
Raya's playing it is
more
so
willing
good.
to take.
It's great
I
RP.
personally do not
Like she
believe that
said.
a legislative
I
audit
go,
needs
why
to
are
be
you on
done
the other
for
side?
this,
She's like,
and
"Oh,
rather the
this fucking
BCSO should
crap."
argue in front of the justice why specifically these individuals are
good.
causing harm, and that they should be removed from their positions rather than
Yeah, it's
trying
great
to have the
RP.
legislation written into what could be an unconstitutional interpretation, allowing LSPD and BCSO to interfere with each other's operation in their jurisdiction.
May I respond to that?
Of course.
Wait, does our side get to speak?
Angel is our side.
While it is easy, well, maybe not easy, while it's simpler to maybe go
Maybe
for
like
the
in the
people
gallery.
pushing the issues against the legislation,
I don't think so.
we believe that the amendment to the legislation is more to secure that now and in the future, that high commands can't control their SPs with the vagueness of the definitions. If it's already happening now, who's to say it won't happen in the future? And that goes for either LSPD or BCSO. So this is like, when I started this, I wasn't even under the impression that this would happen this quickly. And I said to myself and the other people working on it that even if this doesn't happen now, we do this so that way in the future we don't have this issue again. And we were just going to start the process now. Thankfully, it has gotten picked up and we're doing this now. But again, this is more so to secure that in the future, high commands don't.
Wait, can I
use this
get
to their
can I
advantage
get
again.
screen
Because if we're just
grabs
constantly gonna try and
of
impeach
the
people abusing
pages?
it, then why don't we just
We can
change
post on
the inherent
Twitter.
issue so we don't have to do that every time someone's high command and uses it against everyone that is either an officer or a deputy.
May I respond, Your Honor?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
That SOP was also reviewed by the marshals, and the
Well,
marshals
it is
told me it was
understandable that someone would want to
constitutional.
change the system to prevent there being some form
Yeah.
of abuse. It is important to note that the high command of a police department is not
some are
just some
against it
random
now, which is
position that
crazy.
people happen to fall into. It is a position that is
Well,
appointed by the mayor that the people vote and put into that
I feel like I kind
position
of fell
itself.
into this.
What that means is this position is essentially a representation of the will of the people, and to handcuff them in a way like this, just by making legislative changes to restrict them from operating in their independent jurisdiction, would be convenience, and it would potentially solve some issues. It would also remove a bit more agency from the people and their voice that they are hearing in the electoral process. Now, I think this is an example of why this is the case. I think it should be important to note, for those of you who may not be aware, Shift 3 of the police department is an example of why the system may not necessarily be an issue. For those of you who aren't aware, specifically when this conflict kicked off, there was a specific announcement that was made that Shift 3 was exempt from any of the potential jurisdictional conflicts SOPs. And it clearly appeared to be just between specific ships which might have some problem actors in it. It's clear to me that it is possible for these two departments to coexist and work with each other under the current jurisdictional authorities as are set up in legislation. Changes are not necessarily needed to be made to that. More so, I think that the independent high command that are responsible for these changes
Excuse me,
need
chat.
to come to terms with how they are running things and if that's how they really want them to be run. Additionally, I will circle back to the point that the
I was chewing on a bottle cap like an idiot.
allowing BCSO high
And I
commands to have a say.
Had a bit of a choke accident on I didn't choke on the bottle cap, but like, you know, like little like, you know, chips.
Without it being explicitly agreed to
Yeah.
by the other side, would it
Yeah, I shouldn't. I have such a
be that part of that agency, and it would be us granting that agency to that department. That is to say, we would be giving
I'm not
some of Los Santos County's
deep throating a
authority
bottle. What the
away
fuck?
to a representative or a related agency. I personally believe that's unconstitutional, and they should remain separate.
Thank you.
Sorry, one moment. I do want to respond.
Of course.
I nearly died to that like I was a moron when I was 11. Yeah, I've what is it called? Like I got like oral fixation issues. I always need to like I've tried toothpicks, but they don't hit it on the you know. Doesn't work. Isn't that called oral fixation? Isn't it?
Somebody talking? No. Anna, can you hear me?
Yes.
Why is it so quiet?
I think he's just formulating his thoughts.
Oh, okay. No, sorry, I thought it was. I was about to run home.
See that, Carmine? They're grasping at straws. Look at that. They're struggling.
I do want to clarify. Maybe I worded it poorly in the amendment. When the inclusion of either or both high commands, when it comes to when it's warranted, isn't so that BCSO high command has any say in LSPD jurisdiction or vice versa. That's more so when it comes to the punishments. Like Ventura said, for a while it was in LSPD's SOPs that they have all say over how BCSO deputies would be punished in their jurisdiction. This was so that, for example, let's say LSPD wanted to fire Nakota. They can't just fire Nakota. It also has to be discussed with BCSO High Command. This wasn't to give BCSO power in their jurisdiction as far as what they can and cannot do without LSPD's say.
We never said that we could fire
also, there is
anybody.
a
That's
few more people that would like to
crazy.
speak on behalf of the BCSO. I also want to bring up the issues with how LSPD High Command has made SOPs around this has been brought to the state marshals. So as far as like moving in a direction to get people impeached or in trouble, like we've tried to start that process already. All that has come to us from the marshals is that they want us to tell them whenever a report or incident involves scene leads being changed from each county. So we've put in the effort to go about this other ways. I do want to reaffirm that this is
4 days ago.
I think to start the process to get someone impeached, if we have to do that every cycle when someone's appointed, by the time that impeachment goes through, it's already at the end of their term. Again, this is just to secure the future. I have more things to say, but I would like the other people that want to speak on behalf of this amendment change to speak.
I'd like to respond to that before.
All right.
Of course, you have the floor.
Wait, but wouldn't make him a co-authority to authorize our high command to punish him?
I'd like
They're so concerned
to
about that?
make a very clear point to those of you who may not be aware. The impeachment legislation is something that can be done by quite literally every single person standing in this room. You are not reliant on an authority or a police department to guide you through the process. If you wish to perform an impeachment, you can do it. The impeachment legislation is quite clear on how it needs to be done and how it needs to be handled. With that said, if you don't want to take matters into your own hands and you would like to leave it up to others, then that is your choice, but you cannot complain if you don't get the results that you want. I think the last thing that I really want to say on this is I understand a bit about the concerns that the BCSO have, but this wording, as they presented in the requested amendments, is just going to create the exact same situations that they are scared of right now. The language is just as vague as they would refer to it. It leaves just as much room for interpretation from LSPD High Command and BCSO High Commands, and just as much faith for potential bad faith actors to cause disruptions as before. I don't think that this unconstitutional amendment should be made to the legislation, and I think that if anything, this is not the correct avenue for this specific issues that the BCSO have, and it would be better heard in an impeachment hearing of those they have issues with.
I have a question, Justice. I have a question.
Well, I have a question.
What is your opinion? How do you think this problem could get solved? What is your solution to the problem?
He literally just said it.
To what problem?
The problem we're having now while we're all here.
I feel like she's offered one repeatedly.
I feel like I've already told you what
Brings
I
us
think
back
your
to not
way forward
understanding what
is.
the fuck you wrote.
So just impeachment? We file impeachment.
If you believe, in my personal opinion, I am telling you this as my opinion and was what I would do, not necessarily a representative opinion of the Department of Justice. If you have an issue with someone, if what they are doing is causing demonstrable harm, which can be proven in a court of law, you should file an impeachment. I do also want to respond to that one little comment made at the end. Impeachment hearings would happen quite quickly, as they are not traditional court hearings, and the only parties that are necessary to be present would be the overseeing justice, the person filing the impeachment, and the person that is on the receiving end. Just like this legislative audit was filed quite quickly as soon as the paperwork was received, an impeachment hearing will be filed just as quickly, and it would not take 3 months for it to happen, as was stated.
Like Angel wants me impeached.
I would like to start by apologizing for assuming how an impeachment procedure would go, as I've not been involved in one.
Yikes.
As we were led to believe that the marshals are like the overseeing of both of our departments.
They don't have shit on you.
We assumed, if there's issues with either high commands or deputies or officers, that they're the ones that take care of that. As well, I would like to point out, people are scared to even start an impeachment procedure. People have been literally fired for stating that they were going to try and impeach their high command.
I have no idea.
Again, like I said, officers came to us before even helping with
now
this
it's
because they were
they're
scared
afraid
that
to
they would
impeach
get
people?
fired. It's people shouldn't be scared to do what is in their right to do.
Shouldn't be scared to have backup on a fucking call.
But unfortunately, they are. If people are to the point where they don't want to speak out against their high command of either department or even their command, then where do we go? Where do we go from there? That's again why I think the security of this amendment is more important than hoping this doesn't happen again or continues to happen.
All right.
It's really awkward
Angel,
when
would you like
people are just like talking about
Just
you.
quickly, yes. While the
and then you
San Andreas
have to
State
go
Marshals
up
are an
there
overseeing
and
body, and they do oversee all
talk.
government
It's so
agencies
awkward.
in the states, they are not
Yeah.
necessarily going to act on something unless there can be proven malice and that their workload is necessary. Relying on them to perform an impeachment of a high command member could very well happen, and they might as well do it if they find there to be necessary cause for it to happen. Just because you think that something should happen doesn't mean that they will necessarily agree with you. And while you should bring your issues to the marshals and whatnot, you should also expect
What do you
to have
mean?
to document what you're discussing. Otherwise, you can't possibly expect them to take what you're saying in stride and make a workable court case out of it.
We would like to let a few more people speak from our side of
Yeah,
things, if
we
that's
would
okay.
love
We
for
do
our
still
side
have
to
time.
speak.
Anyone
Holy
who is
shit.
on your side has the floor.
Oh me. Okay, either you or Hayes, either one of you guys.
Wait, what? Wait, no one. Wait, what?
Helen. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. I'm Officer Jiminy Cricket with the Los Santos Police Department. I have been in the city for just over 7 years and have been an LEO, law enforcement officer, for the majority of that time. I want to state that this is my opinion on what this legislation enacts. I understand that we are here due to the failure of leadership from both departments. So I will strictly try and keep this to what the legislation affects and how it's been perceived and followed by the High Command of LSPD or BCSO. This legislation creates conflict between LSPD and BCSO. Neither department should be blamed more than the other for the ongoing conflict and what this legislation has led to, as both are at fault. People have been using this legislation as a got you moment, rather than something that gives order between the counties and jurisdictions in Los Santos. This legislation has solely created a divide between BCSO and LSPD,
given the small amount of officers we have during our second shift. Never have I seen a divide more prominent between LSPD and BCSO in the 7 to 8 years I've been in this city for. The morale of patrol officers
He just
have been
wants to drive the
affected the most.
Interceptor.
Do I think this legislation is incorrect? No, I don't. But it creates problems. We do not have the numbers as a police department to properly follow this legislation. All citizens in Los Santos have been affected, and that is the reason I believe this needs to be amended. People have stopped clocking on duty because of this legislation and have not been on duty as much. I get that these issues can be resolved interdepartmentally. However, there is no cooperation, no future where with this legislation in place that I see a functioning United Police Department. I am strictly a patrol officer. I have no desire to ever be in a command
Goes north.
position, and that is who and what
Transfers
this legislation
north.
affects. Patrol officers. We are
Wonders.
lacking the ability to support citizens of Los Santos County to our fullest as law enforcement officers. Civilians 911s are being unanswered.
Tumbleweeds.
Officers
too.
are without backup in violent situations and
911s
often getting
never
hurt.
get answered regardless.
People are able to steal from the state without any response from law enforcement, given the fact that we can't police the city without BCSO. There are clear violations in our standard operating procedures because of this legislation.
I feel like
We've had
that's
a bank robbery where 10 units,
Oh my
6 from
God.
BCSO, including
Yeah, this is
myself,
just-
and 4 from
this is crazy.
LSPD, have responded to the call.
I feel like that's not good enough
We work
though.
best as a united police department and have always worked better as such. I don't believe a correct outcome should be impeach high command that are incorrectly presenting this legislation, because high command can literally be appointed from a cadet to high command. It is not a decision that takes a lot of thought. It is just a mayor's decision. Oh, I want that person in high command so they can make that happen. That's all I have to say today, Your Honor.
What is he yapping about?
I would like to call Hayes up as well.
Wasn't it the BCSO's decision to not come down to the city?
Wait, it came at Nino? What do you mean?
But she wanted to speak, but she was okay. You asked me if you.
Yeah.
Wait, what did he say? I missed it. Because I got his like tone was putting me to sleep.
Justice Angel stated about the legislation is she said, I think that this wording is clear enough for any individual in the state of San Andreas to be able to read and make their own interpretations. This is a legislation that doesn't simply affect Los Santos County or Blaine County. It affects every citizen across whatever county lines. And it causes them to not be guaranteed any type of safe harbor for Los Santos Police Department or Blaine County Police or Blaine County Sheriff's Department. The legislation requires more guidelines and rails for not only Blaine County to be able to operate in Los Santos County, but every citizen to be able to have a police officer respond to a 24/7 robbery, have laundromat robberies, be able to get officers to make sure that every citizen that goes and gets kidnapped for those actually get an officer to pull them out of that situation. Right now, both police departments are failing the citizens of San Andreas. And it's due to the legislation that has created malice SOPs because of how open-ended the wording is.
Because people can't comprehend.
Someone's life shouldn't be dictated on a I think. We should make sure that every citizen in San Andreas is protected with the legislations that we enact.
Wasn't an issue a month ago.
Thank you. Would you like to call your next witness, Bones?
They're not witnesses, but yes, you will.
Really didn't have to do that to me, Bruce.
Helen, did you want to speak?
Love to hear him.
Just a little bit.
I assume that's why he had the headphones on, because so someone could feed him his lines.
Thanks.
Get Robin. That's my boy.
Hi, I'm Helen.
Helen.
Hi, Helen.
Hi. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Okay, thanks. So I think that the issue
aren't
with
you
this
prosecuting
legislation
her?
is that it can be abused. I understand that people abusing it is an issue, but if the legislation is not changed before new people are put in, they could do the exact same thing. I don't think that using Shift 3 as an example of how the legislation is fine is logical. When I go into Shift 3, Shift 3 could make the decision to use the legislation in the same way. Which is the problem, is that they can use the legislation this way because it is not worded in a way that prevents it from being used in a way that it's not intended to be used. Shift 3 could be just as much of a mess, and Shift 3 just decides not to.
I'm gonna think about something for just a minute.
I think that the police are stronger as a UPD. I hate this divide. I think this legislation is being used in a way that pushes the divide, and I think the only way that that is fixed is by changing the wording of the legislation so that it is more in line with whatever its intended use is supposed to be, because I don't think it's being used that way, and it will continue to be abused. Okay.
You know what I want to, Nina, really get on the energy of? You are paid by taxpayer dollars to do a job. You do the job, or you get the fuck out.
I'm shocked.
Hey, miss, you got any food?
You are not above
While we have a quick pause,
everyone.
state for anyone who is here for the entire day, we do have the LSPD audit for this beginning soon as well, which is why we've been allowing visitors to speak into
You got any
the
food?
first. However, if we do have time
Do me
for
a favor.
cases, I will still
I can
open
barely
up
hear her.
LSPD or
Yeah,
whoever
take
is
your head
present
off
Can you
and put it
speak
back
up?
on.
to offer their thoughts
I
on
don't think
this.
she can.
Yes.
What did she
I will
say?
offer LSPD their thoughts
You good?
at
No, you
the
got
end
Kiki
of this.
face.
Once everyone on the contesting side has spoken. Since they will have their own opportunity in their
I'm
own
hungry.
case, they are to wait for now. I appreciate.
I
your
mean,
patience.
it's
Wait, we're
true.
not able to talk right now? Are we?
Thank you. That'd be perfect though. 'cause she can-
Hello.
Yeah, I understand
My name's
that.
Under
That's
Sheriff Leon
crazy,
Cassidy with the
dude.
Blaine County Sheriff's Office.
Fucking loser.
Hey,
Very
Cassidy.
rude. Very rude. Hey, how you doing? Basically,
It's
I'm just here
crazy,
to
right?
reaffirm what everybody else said and say that I stand behind it. We believe that the wording should be
They're not letting us talk
cleaned
until the
up
next court
so that
case,
it can't
Moss.
be used in a malicious intent like it has been.
Still have,
We as the BCSO
Malicious
genuinely
intent.
want to
All the
work together.
BCSO
We
funds.
want to be in the
Have an
city
hour, it's
helping out.
okay.
Yeah,
We
no,
believe that there just
they
should be
changed
some
it
limits
on
on
a
who should
whim.
be able to pull
Wait, what do you
jurisdictional
mean?
authority.
We're not able to talk until the next
We
court case.
proposed
We're not allowed to.
amendments
I
to,
believe this is
to
actually once
change
the
to work with the
contesting side is completely
LSPD to
finished.
get things done. But there's just been
Okay.
zero wiggle room. The only thing that has been amended is something that was not discussed at all. It was just changed by the chief of police 2 days before this. I'm not sure why. An attempt to make them look better? I'm not sure. But we truly just want to work together. I mean, I am not a saint. I have done silly stuff.
No, that's
and
Ventura.
Take full responsibility for
Relax,
that.
Robin. Come on.
I've acted out of line. I may be
Oh
overstepping.
my God, Alana.
But we really truly feel that certain things have been super maliciously used, and we just want it to go back to how it was. Before this SOP was pushed, I truly believe that we were in the best spot we
Yo,
were.
fucking
Obviously, there's
Robin
been a bit of a
dropping
divide between
jokes.
the BCSO and LSPD since new high command was appointed about 3 months ago.
I was, bro.
But since we
Robin
disbanded and
dropping
joined
jokes.
meetings, a couple days
It's funnier
before
because it's so
the new SOP
unexpected.
went
You know
out,
what I
all of
mean?
this went down. We had LSPD and BCSO meetings again. We were genuinely trending in the right direction, and that was all we've ever wanted to do, and that's what we
when
want to
everybody
continue to
was
do,
at
regardless
CopCon?
of the outcome of this.
Is that what he's referring to?
Oh, must be.
When all of High Command was out of town.
Thank you, Cassie.
Angel, are you gonna respond with anything, or?
Yes, you are welcome to. Whenever you have something.
I mean, I don't really have much else to say. I'm just
Okay.
gonna cap it off, I suppose. I think again,
This is so
everything that you guys have heard
awkward
so far today is pointing
that
towards the fact that
this
the
is
issues-
very
the issues are the
awkward.
SOPs and the people who
I'm
are
not a
wielding
big
them,
fan of the way
and
it's
not
set
the
up. I think
legislation. Well, sure,
the
yes,
way that
technically the
I think it
legislation
should
does
work
enable,
is someone
some form of
files,
abuse.
right? Which is
I will say that
because the way this
there
worked
no
is
such
someone
thing as a perfect
filed,
piece of legislation. Anything that you write can be
which was
used and abused
Bruce.
by bad actors or bad faith actors who wish to abuse it. So I don't believe that the potential for abuse.
And
is
then
enough of a reason
BCSO,
to
the
modify
sheriff and the
change
undersheriff
legislation in a way
were
that's
the original
potentially
people, right?
unconstitutional.
And then
Every
it's
system
defended
is
by the
based in
writer,
some form or
right?
fashion, and while we would like to limit that as much as we possibly can, there does come a point where you do need.
But
to
they
put
make
the
all these
names
points
of
that no
small
one can
innocent
defend.
people who
Like
are
it's
responsible for
ridiculous.
these areas
The way
and
that it
let
should
them
work is,
make
in
their
my
own bed.
opinion.
If they choose to go down a path
Hold on,
that
I'll
could
tell you in a
lead to
second.
them being impeached and cause issues, and so be
This
it.
is this
If they
feels
choose to
so
operate in a way that would be beneficial for everyone and do the best of their ability,
staged.
and that's ideally what the goal should be, and that's fantastic. But I don't believe it's the place of the Department of Justice to completely handcuff these police departments and their ability to operate.
Well,
and I think that the
hold on, I'll tell you in a
large
second.
Parts of their autonomy should be up to them and the SOPs that they create. That's all I really have to say.
I feel like what's missing here, because I saw like what was going back and forth on the docket, is that someone should contest it. They should be the primary speaker. You shouldn't be getting other people to speak on your behalf. So first off, that was like an odd filing.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sheriff Jeffrey Bones.
The second thing.
I agree
Hold
with
on.
Angel,
Hold on.
on a lot of this. I think that this legislation does have wiggle room, but I believe that that's what law is all about. It should be constantly adapting and changing.
Wait.
I understand
What?
the whole impeachment argument she's bringing. Fucking phone call. But I do think something needs to be done. I believe we started this amendment or amending of the legislation to try and get that going. As High Command,
now
we've
we're gonna
talked with-
do-
as Cassie said before, we talked with him multiple times trying to get this changed. But it was
And now we're
constantly
gonna go
backed
for
by,
impeachment.
I have the
Dude, this is
legislation
so
to
cringe,
help.
bro. If
Marty,
that's
please
where
stop
it goes.
spam calling me. I have what we're doing is legal and it's fine via the legislation. This legislation is basically empowering these people to do these fucked up things.
Sounds like a skill issue.
And it should not be
Who's these people?
done this way. I think it should be changed. We should cut down all the wiggle room that it does have.
I think me.
And that's all
Wait.
we're asking here.
Computers.
Wait, he just
because you
reneged on
can
it.
Doesn't mean that you should.
Wait, what?
That's
Wait.
my sheriff. That's him.
Wait,
Let's
what?
go,
Wait,
Bones,
oh,
that's my
oh, wait,
sheriff.
I thought they were gonna drop a bomb. We're gonna impeach her. Wait, I'm so confused. Wait, he flipped on it. Okay, so I'll tell you,
Is there anyone still on the contesting side that wishes to speak?
I just. Oh my god. I would like to just state one more thing. In
okay.
Angel's statement before Bones
They are entitled.
spoke, she even said in her own statement that.
okay, I
the-
can't hear anymore of this. It's the same bullshit. The way that I feel like this would be more valuable is, first off, if you guys don't know this, Bruce filed it, applied for it, but then Bones and Cassidy were marked as the people who filed it, right? It then got later exposed that Bruce is the one that filed it, and he claimed he did it as a private citizen, even though in the filing document it said BCSO filed it. So the fact that it even got opened up and allowed all this shit to happen was crazy. Regardless, I feel like the way that it should work is anyone should be able to introduce an
Doesn't mean that
argument
the abuse is
for,
okay or is appropriate conduct.
for
This is what the
or
person
against.
for.
They post their argument and they vocalize it, and then
Enough
it's
about
done.
responding to what's been said. I just want to essentially put a cap on what we discussed and remind
Because
everyone
the
purpose of this
issue
legislation and why I don't
is
think it needs to change in the slightest.
this.
Ultimately,
Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
the county should be responsible for its public services, and the public services should be responsible for determining, to an extent that is granted within the law, how they conduct themselves.
I'll explain
which
after
means
this whole
how
thing.
Their SOPs are written, which means
There's a
how
critical
they
bit
do their
missing.
control, the guns that
I'm
they
not
carry,
sure. Maybe.
how they use these weapons, And as long as these guidelines don't step into a boundary of criminality or enable officers to do things that are criminal, the freedom should be within the independent
I'll see after a
offices
while.
to have a say for themselves.
See what's been said.
If Blaine
anything
County
been
so
missed,
wish
I
to
will speak
choose
up.
to make interceptors their standard patrol
There's
vehicle,
nothing to crash out about.
they
It
should
just
be
needs to be
empowered do
developed
that
a little bit
without
further.
having to worry about LSPD's interference.
It should be
LSPD wants to
one
make it so
person
that
per
everyone must,
argument.
patrol on a
Not
bike, or
10
they must say
people
specific
for-
phrase when they're doing their conduct. So be it. That is within their control, and that is up to their high commands to dictate. And that
Because
is the
this prevents
SOPs
the
that they
people
have in
from
place.
defending any
I do not
legislation.
believe that authorities should be able to
The people,
infringe on
right?
each other's SOPs and dictate how they operate in a day-to-day basis.
Take,
with
for
the exception,
example, I
obviously,
get out of
the
office,
criminal or
someone
negligent
challenges
behaviors
MOPEC,
or SOPs
and the
that
next
do
mayor
not
is not very familiar with MOPEC.
So
Wait,
that
do
is
they
all
defend
to
it?
say
No, it
that,
should be
yes, there is
people
some
that
potential
can make an
for
argument for it because they're more better equipped with
if
what
you
the
think that it
legislation
is
is.
being abused,
Impeach
then
this.
the appropriate action would be to impeach the people that are abusing it, and not necessarily to amend a piece of legislation that's quite clear in the authorities that it grants to each independent jurisdiction.
Well, anyone should be able to apply
That's all I
on the
really have to
docket
say. Thank you.
for or against, and then articulate their argument. So when it goes to a hearing, they're expanding on the
I agree with
argument.
both of the
It
points
actually
that
makes, I
Angel
think,
said, but I
the
think they should be impeached.
it's
and I
shorter.
think this should be changed. That is all I have to say.
I want my way.
Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause.
Woo!
Round of applause, round of applause.
My Sheriff Bones, that's him.
I'm not quite sure that's what she said.
That is
Well,
ferociously
like
beat.
that.
Fucking
Sorry.
rubbing one out.
Sorry. Happened.
Right. At this point, since I have heard from Angel and everyone contesting,
Judge gang
I am
in the
willing to
back.
open the floor, as mentioned on the docket. If
Thank
you would like
God.
to speak,
The floor's gonna open?
Please be succinct.
Yeah.
With this, please have thought about this ahead of time. Who wishes to speak?
Grayson?
Doc.
Carmine, this is your time to shine. Am I doing it? Or do you want to go up there, Peters?
Yeah.
Make a
I don't really even know if I have anything
Moss,
to say.
you-
But
Moss,
what
you
would I
should-
go up there?
You should say
Please be
something.
respectful of other
Y-
people.
yeah.
I wrote something out.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is
Go, Grace.
Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Grayson. For the past 2-3 months, I've been working as a San Andreas State Marshal. So I've seen this on the ground floor from both sides. I've been requested by both sides, as multiple people have already attested to step in and act as daddy, to reprimand people for stepping out of line with this jurisdiction stuff. And it's childish. I stand wholly behind Justice Angel and her contention that what is being requested here is, at a point, unconstitutional. Article 2 clearly lays out that there are jurisdictional differences between Blaine County and Los Santos County, and those should be respected. The Constitution is supreme. It comes first, before all else. Then this legislation was put
Actually,
in
she may
place
not need to.
empower that sense of difference in the Constitution, right? The changes that have come about through SOPs are internal to those police departments, right? That is not what is being contested here. What's being contested here is our own legislation. SOPs are merely a way to interpret legislation and turn them into standard operating procedures. There are different ways to deal with this. It is not here. This is not the forum for this. And I can get into multiple times I was asked to engage here and chose not to. And I told certain officers to impeach individually. They've been given that advice. If they haven't done it, that's on them. I would just now issue caution to Justice Hart, who I have full faith will make the correct decision here, not to over-legislate. Sometimes when we over-legislate, we lose what makes our state so fantastic. We shouldn't have baby step rules in place that stop anybody from hurting other people's feelings. That's not the point of legislation.
Amen.
That's all I have to say.
Damn.
My goat.
Grayson,
Yo, he just said Blaine County be a bunch of bitches, bro.
I just need to ask a question for clarification because I got confused.
Okay.
You said during your statement that
Why is he?
the issues being brought
Why
forward
is this
today
guy
are
yapping right
internal
now?
and
I have
SOP
no idea.
procedure-wise?
How is he allowed to
I
yap?
think
not-
90%. I think 90% of what we've been asked to assess today in this courtroom has been in relation to the SOPs that
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
prepared and
doing
not the
objections.
legislation itself.
Yeah.
I know the
no,
question
yeah, I
on
get
the
that.
docket.
I get that.
Wait, what is happening? Why is this guy talking?
Why?
to us?
Why is he able to talk and we weren't during other people's?
Because this is my courtroom, and he asked, and I'm.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Alright, come on,
Damn,
guys,
he's
come on,
the
guys.
Can
bailiff.
we not be children, please?
Yeah.
show your age.
That goes for both sides.
Yeah, yeah.
My question is,
Wait, what?
George, you said that we're talking. Most of the issues that are being brought forward are procedural and SOP based, and not based on the legislation being argued. But then a few seconds later, you said that the SOPs are based off of said legislation. So should we not be arguing what they're based off of?
If you think there's an actual like intrinsic flaw within the
Debate,
legislation,
debate.
I'm gonna be frank here. I didn't see systemic issues. I saw interpersonal issues during my time as a marshal.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right. That's my question.
No problem.
All right.
Who would next like to speak?
I like the do-rag, ma.
Thank you. Wade gave me the permission.
I
I wear this in his honor.
Oh, he gave
Hashtag free Wade.
Hey everybody, I'm Officer Ma. Originally wanted to come up here, kind of get in the fold of things to kind of get lost of the whole, pointing at this, pointing at that. But I decided not to talk about the fact that, BCSO Lieutenant Declan Crane would tell everybody in Los Angeles County that they would not respond to a downed EMS staff or anything like that. What I would like to talk about is the legislation, like former Marshal Grayson's brought up, is that the specific wording of this amendment is a direct contradiction to what the Constitution is allowing us, in particular the jurisdiction part of it. Just like Justice Angels pointed out, this piece of legislation, this amendment would pretty much open up bigger holes, a bigger gaping hole of issues that would come about it than the current wording does. Saying things as a co-authority when we're Blaine County High Command or BCSO High Command in an LSPD jurisdiction is, well, contradictory to what the Constitution allows. Therefore, with this in mind, and as Justice Angel pointed out, this amendment itself is unconstitutional by inherently. So I don't know why we're here, especially since every argument's about SOPs and my rank in Los Santos, please respect it type of deal.
Nah,
it's childish. And as a matter of fact, any sort of divide has been our own doing, whether we choose not to respond to a specific county, whether by high command vote or by high command decision or a majority vote in a department. All in all, I think what's been pointed out today is that this entire thing has been pointless because it has nothing to do with the legislation or any issues with the legislations. At minimum, it's an SOP issue. At worst, it's I want to impeach this guy because I don't like him. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a rank and file member of the LSPD. Have a good one.
Yeah.
I'd like to go up.
No, that's my patrol cop.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Should I come get him?
Here we go.
Can we take him back somehow?
They let Quangle and Kate up there. I'm
As
sure
the
Carmen-
bailiff, I
No,
was instructed
Forte.
not to let you go up.
What did you say?
I was instructed by the courts not to let you go up at the beginning when she said she didn't want to hear your voice.
I'm a taxpayer. My voice. I am a citizen of this state.
Oh my
I have a right to be
God.
heard.
I mean, that's fine. I'm not saying that you
Let
don't do
Bobby
that.
Charles talk.
This is unconstitutional.
Why are we getting so
think
I've
greedy
not
when
caused
we're
any
trying to
problems
state our
while I
side?
was
It's
while I've been in here. I want to speak.
Okay,
To be
don't
fair, it
do
was
it.
Bobby that caused the problem, Your Honor.
Yes, you're not wrong.
Thank you.
Fine, I suppose I will allow you to speak.
Oh, I do it.
Hello? Is this thing on?
Yeah.
The
Unfortunately.
people of Los Santos and people of Blaine and San Andreas we're all gathered here to watch a group of people that don't even know what they want. You know what a self-fulfilled prophecy is?
Scotty, what?
It's when you try to run from something so hard and so fast that in the end, you bring that thing to fruition.
Said that.
Yeah! Yeah!
Blaine County is afraid of Los Santos having its own jurisdiction and following its own set of laws.
My God.
They want to encroach
So well
on
said.
our rights of people of Los Santos and take from us because they are greedy ghouls. And
Oh my God.
Isolationism is a solution they came up with. The reason the city isn't being policed by them is not because
When
LSPD
Carmine
is, not
is
allowing
more
them to.
well
It is because they
spoken
have chosen
than
this for
an
themselves.
entire
So all these
pack.
arguments about EMS dying, mothers crying, all that, it means nothing. They're refusing to police Los Santos because they're petty. Can I use profanity?
Why not?
Bitches! They're petty bitches! So these are
Oh,
not
man.
good faith arguments coming from them.
Hey,
They're
you
not-
watch your mouth,
Hey,
Carmine.
Hey, I would have taken a bullet for your mother, Quangle, but you wouldn't do the same for us.
Yes,
that's
I
the
would.
difference. LSPD,
Damn.
you don't see us bringing fucking everybody to a courtroom complaining about policing Blaine County, because first of all, I'll police Blaine County, but fuck Blaine County. Okay, these people are deluded. They're so, I'm gonna use another term. They're so blame rotted, okay, and they're constantly blame shifting.
This is great for
They're
my bingo
delusional.
card.
They're delusional. They're lost in their own sauce.
Carmine, can I ask you a question?
And
real
listen,
quick?
listen. If they had anything tangible, let's be honest, they would have been impeached Chief Moss, because they obviously don't like her.
Carmine,
And you know
can I ask
what?
you a question?
Nino Chavez, thank you so much for the high command structure you have given us. You have saved the LSPD. These arguments about numbers being low is bullshit. We are up good. We are up tremendously. I love the people I work with. I love my county. And if you could impeach anybody, you would have done it by now. So I say that I impeach this bitch.
I'm sweating right now.
Can I ask Carmine one
I won't compel him to answer.
I just wanted to ask. I just wanted to ask Carmine. You do know that the LSPD, specifically Daisy Moss, is doing the same thing in about a half an hour that we're doing?
Yeah, because it's funny, because you're doing it.
Well, technically,
That's got nothing to do with Chief Moss. That's my interpretation of the situation.
Okay.
I want to add something. I want to add something. I want to.
No, real quick.
You're not taking the mic. I've been
I'm
there 5 times.
No, let him speak.
What the fuck?
Bailiff, don't stop his
We're worried about fucking unilateral fucking decisions being made. These fuckers have been dabbing me to shit. They're preying on my downfall. LSPD big, baby.
I just want to respond to Carmine's answer. I'm glad that he thinks SOP and legislation amendments and impeachments are a joke. I just want to put that on the record.
No, I think this argument's a joke.
This amendment is a joke. It's
on the record whether you
want it there or not.
Can I have a drink, please? You got it.
Holy fuck. Yo,
who drinking?
Carmine
Drink,
cooked
please.
more of an argument in 5 minutes than whatever the fuck was on the other side.
Thank you.
Fuck, that's great.
That's my represent Dan Faley.
Did Carmine say ABAB? Did anybody?
No, he
didn't. Damn. Okay. Is
Sorry,
Bobby
one
here?
more
They're still
thing.
cheating.
One more thing.
This is cheating. You can't do this.
He's cheating. He's cheating.
Marshals.
Bro,
Marshals.
I'm not gonna
Marshals,
lie.
get him off.
Carmine fucking
No cheating. No
like
cheating. Come on, let's go.
No cheating in
fucking
your bingo. No cheating in
Come on.
bingo. Come on.
absolutely
Okay.
slayed with his delivery.
Wait, is that something?
It was like actually articulate, entertaining, a pretty
Hi,
on
folks.
point. Like,
I'm
damn.
basically just a little person in the LSPD.
got a
And
bomb.
okay,
You're not little to
apparent-
me. You're not little to me.
Yeah, thank you, Quangle. At the core, this argument is mainly based on fear and ego, in my opinion. But I'm not going to be theatrical like some other people here. Quangle, Carmine.
There's a rose toy in the room. Sorry.
In the submission, BCSO are suggesting co-authority. At that point, why are we bothering with jurisdictions? If BCSO's High Command has got the same power as LSPD's High Command within Los Santos County, then we have got two people fighting with opposite directions for what they want in some cases. This is no good for the state, it's no good for the separate counties. And further to this, I would suggest it becomes unconstitutional when we're doing this. The only way to fix that would be to put someone in the state in command of an overall police force. Do we really want to shut down the BCSO and LSPD over some pettiness? I personally, I don't think so. We've heard various submissions from BCSO. They've stated about being pulled off calls. All this sort of things happened in the last 4 to 5 days. They failed to mention how they voted more than a week before this to stay in their own county, to not come down and help LSPD.
Oh!
Where has LSPD made a decision that falls that? It was fear. It was ego. They didn't want to be under control of someone else from a different county, and therefore they stayed in their own. They got every right to do it. It's them enforcing their jurisdictional right based on the legislation, just as LSPD did. And yet now they're complaining that LSPD are doing the same thing as them. And I just don't understand it, personally. We could argue all this quite a bit. Everyone's been petty, both sides. Personally, I've had issues with both sets of high command and their decisions.
Hey, overall, I really like. I wish more of this sort of thing
haven't got an
happened.
issue with legislation. We got a
Discussion is
problem with
good.
ego. And
Very good.
to be honest, we have that problem with the entire city. So personally, I feel we need no amendment to the legislation. However, Your Honor, if you really want to think about changing it, then you need to think about maybe per definition on what the powers of primary authority is, because that's what they're trying to argue. And honestly, I personally think you should say change the sub-authority may patrol. I think it should be changed to that they have to aid the other jurisdiction if requested and they have people available. That sort of thing is the only way we're going to stop this cropping up in the future, because no matter who's in charge, ego will always be involved. Okay, sorry to have wasted your time. Thank you, folks.
You do not waste my
Good
time.
shit, Doc. That was not a waste of time.
I love you, bastard.
That was spoken. Good job, though.
Well done, Doc.
If you feel it necessary, sure.
Yes.
And then we will continue on with the rest of the people.
Haven't they already had their
He
say?
mentioned that the vote was done before the SOP got put into place. That is completely wrong.
What about the second vote?
That's not what he said.
That was after as well.
He didn't say that.
Okay, Bones.
Okay, we're not here to talk about SOPs. Can we just fucking?
I'm just fact checking what was stated.
So
You said there'd be no fact checkers. You said there'd be no fact checkers.
I don't think anyone said that.
I think that was for
You
the
said there'd be no fact checkers.
Back up and let me clear this up.
Damn!
Oh, man, let him.
Give him contempt.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Would you like to shout at me, please? So, Bones, what I was referring to is the fact that we didn't actually start pulling people off of chases until later, until you'd already pulled your jurisdictional authority to stay up in your own county. The SOP was in place, but it hadn't actually been used.
What's up? What's up
4
now?
months, by the
What's up
way.
now?
4
All that
months.
wrong.
4 months, by the
4
way.
months.
I mean, the reason we did the vote is because it was pushed. That's all we were trying to clarify. Because we were because of
understand.
malicious intent, which has been proven.
Which is part of my.
Don't even go
hasn't.
back and forth with them, man. Don't even go back and forth with them.
Yeah.
Listen.
No, you feared what would happen with the SOP. That's
And was
why I
proven
talking
right.
About. Yeah, but was it because
Masters,
the
come
actions
on.
you took? And that's
Don't
up to the judge to
even
decide.
listen.
Masters, they don't want the smoke. Stand down.
I've been listening to Fiend on
You wanna
repeat
go up?
in my ears for like 35 minutes.
Alright,
It is
thank
crazy.
you both for your
Shy. Oh.
No way.
Big Shiesty.
Oh, get that.
He's looking a little.
Big
Good morning,
TRT.
everyone. My
Little
name
light.
is Shiesty with the LSPD Sergeant type, and I'm happy.
Good morning,
to be here.
Shan. Good morning, Shan.
I just want to present my chief
Fuck
of
you,
police.
Shiesty.
Oh.
That's why you're missing an eye.
Mm.
I just want to
Put
present
him in
my
a
chief of
coffin.
police, Daisy Moss, to the stand. I'm not to the stand, to the microphone. Thank you so
missing a
much.
personality.
Wait, he's
Boss Moss.
Woo, big chief.
Hey, he went Tiana Trump on it.
Hello, everyone. I am Chief of Police Daisy Moss, the one everyone's been talking about impeaching today. I won't speak too long. I know we've all been here a while. I do want to just start this by saying that since my time as Chief of Police, this legislation has always been enforced. At the beginning, it was a discussion with BCSO High Command. It was determined that BCSO Command and High Command would be recognized as equal authority to LSPD while operating in Los Santos County. Through that time, things started to happen. The first item that happened was when I was told by a BCSO cadet that she refused to fulfill an order because this wasn't her jurisdiction and was backed up by a BCSO senior officer. After that, jokes were being made between BCSO and LSPD, and BCSO decided that they no longer wanted to have shared meetings, furthering dividing the two departments. The certifications had always been shared between the two departments, and we had recently restructured them to just have one cert lead. Assistant Chief Tyler Peters had decided, or had stated that he wanted there to be shared co-leads, to which BCSO responded, all right, we're not having shared certs anymore. This was resolved pretty quickly after that, though. Other issues that had stemmed was threatened violence against LSPD officers by BCSO deputies. Two dead LSPD officers, one resulting in a scene that was led by a BCSO officer, and the other one from being shot in the back of the head by a BCSO captain.
Wasn't talking to you, was I? Thank you. What happened to Vic Hannah?
Hey, Quangle, can you shut the fuck up? We gave your department some respect. Can you give us some as well?
Yeah.
R.I.P. your mom.
When I called the undersheriff to state that captain should be suspended until his trial, I was called crazy, and I was told that I was overreacting to the situation. This led to a shouting match between the undersheriff and the assistant chief of police, Tyler Peters, in which he was called subhuman by the undersheriff. In addition to that, BCSO Command has expressed that LSPD is a shit department. Excuse my language.
Forehead to testify.
What they are fighting today is not the legislation. They are fighting the SOP, which I will just say, before this SOP was pushed forward, I did have the marshals review it, and they told me it was constitutional.
Can you back up?
What they are
What's going
asking
on right
co-authorities just simply will not work. It goes against the Constitution. It does not promote command structure within Los Santos or BCSO, or excuse me, Blaine County. And it will just continue to cause a divide even though we are, quote, all working together. When issues have been brought up to me, such as BCSO's worry about being disciplined by LSPD, it was brought up to me 2 days ago, and it was swiftly changed. It was something that we were already enacting. We had set out an SOP that if there's a situation, BCSO needs to report it to us and we'll deal with it. It only makes sense that it goes the other way. You know, when this SOP was pushed forward, because that's what we've all been talking about today, the SOP, not the legislation. It was never a question of how it would work. It was just never, frankly, entertained by the BCSO. They voted and they decided that they would patrol their own county, which I think is fantastic. I think Blaine County should be patrolled. But we never even got the opportunity to see how it would work and how it would look like. They just came to me with demands of change without even attempting to try it. I would say that moving forward, whatever the outcome of this is, it's important that we do find a resolution, that we do figure out how to work together, and that, you know,
I see it. I need keys.
we see how things go and we make adjustments as we need to. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Moss.
Shit, Moss.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing and one thing only. Den Shiesty's a fucking snake, and it be your own sometimes.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Take her back! Take her back!
What the fuck?
Take her back, asshole!
That's Romanian right there.
Join the
Mr.
club, Dan.
Porter.
Join the club.
Put some respect on his name.
She tweeted a snake.
Hi guys. Look, I know that I have a past that is very violent, and it's
what's your name?
questionable. I'm Alana Reviews.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ, they're hiring everybody these days.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I've done a lot of hard work to change my reputation and to get hired into this department. It doesn't matter that people have, you know, personal issues between departments, but at the end of the day, we are here to protect the people of Los Santos. We are here to uphold their rights, and when we are arguing,
That's right.
and, you know, having fights between departments over SOPs, it's just doing an injustice to the people. When we are requiring help at scenes and blatantly getting disregarded, y'all aren't, it's not hurting us, it's hurting the people.
Reach.
So I want y'all to think about that. Yeah. And this is to both sides. Because at the end of the day, I was one of those people. Y'all were one of those people. And you wouldn't want it happening to you. So think about the people when you're doing it, okay? That's all I have to say.
Great.
Thank you, Alana. I'm sorry you had to wait at
Good
senior
shit.
buns for 10 to 20 minutes while people call 911 and
While
by the
you
time
just
they showed up,
documented it on your lazy ass.
I'd be mad too, Bruce. I'd be mad
Hey,
too.
y'all.
Fucking
My
write a
name's
whole
Duncan.
fucking book
I'm a
report
cop
about it.
for the Los Angeles Police Department.
It's gonna be a
life.
long one.
No, I'm keeping it short.
Carmine, shut up.
Duncan.
Sorry.
Fucking years old, really?
Sometimes legislation
That's my fucking cara.
sometimes legislations are meant to be amended when
I'd say
people
get
at
out
the
there.
top cannot seem to agree on things for what feels like maybe 3 months now. I don't know how long it's been. I've been hearing this argument for way too long. I just want to patrol with my fellow officers and deputies. I want to get help when things are happening down here. I want to be able to help when things are happening up there. Unfortunately, we need to be legislatively forced to work together because the way it is written right now is just being abused by bad actors.
What are you gonna say?
You're not going.
Thank you.
Why? You're not going.
Let's go, Duncan.
Is it possible for a quick recess?
You know,
Your Honor?
I support him.
I am alright with that. If we could take 5 and then we'll allow a few other people to
Oh my God.
Hold on. What's the next court case happening in like what 10 minutes?
Everybody protect Moss and Nino. They might try and assassinate him.
shit.
Right. Well, I need to
Oh,
go.
Jesus.
Nobody's gonna try anything.
Oh,
Bobby,
Hey,
no.
stay on your
Nino,
side,
could
boy.
I-
Hey, yes, absolutely.
Bobby,
Yes.
Right over this way.
Fucking boat. The boat. I need food.
Oh, hey, Ava, did you see my text?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, your tweet is a little too long to retweet.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, I changed it.
Hey. Let's go this way just in case. Hey, that was good. That was good.
I mean, they're just arguing the SOP.
Yeah, my strong suggestion to them, hopefully, I love that these kind of conversations are happening. I'm hoping idea for future that anyone could put up their argument on either side, like a summary of it, and then bring it up in these depositions or whatever you want to call it. So, otherwise everyone gets the mic today, you know what I mean?
It's the first time,
Yeah.
right? So I think we're just kind of trying to figure it out as we go along.
Yeah.
I don't think I got through all my points. I had a lot of notes that were sort of, scribbled on like a bunch of pieces of paper, but you think I did all right?
I think you did fantastic. I think you did more better than most could, given the hour-plus long. Here's why. There was a certain point where I thought both sides were collectively going to use it as and this is now going to turn into an impeachment of Daisy Moss. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, it might. Definitely might.
They can certainly try.
But at the end of the day, I mean, I was told by the marshals everything I was pushing forward was constitutional. So
yeah,
I don't know what to say.
I mean,
Impeach
it's
the
inherent.
marshals.
Well, it's inherently irrelevant, given the fact that your SOPs do not prevent them from patrolling down here.
Yeah, that's the argument they were
And
trying
it's
to
on
make.
record. That's the beauty of it. So their attempt to make such a argument can and will and should be used to impeach Bones and the undersheriff, especially whoever put up a vote, because they decided to stay up north. And I don't even want to touch on the fact that it came out that the BCSO claimed that they paid for the $50K, and then it turns out that Bruce filed it separately, and that only came out because you entered in. So there's a, yeah. Are you still gonna do which one are you doing? Are you in the expungement thing?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Can I give you an IFAC?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Not the expungement's not today. I am arguing my amendment to the legislation. To the jurisdictional authority.
Yeah, you're clarifying it. You're making it more ironclad, right?
Yeah, just arguing that it should jurisdictional authority should start from where the incident occurs.
Yes.
It's like a hot pursuit. This is sort of my logic.
I love it. I think that makes perfect sense.
Normally, we're not allowed just to enter private property, right, without probable cause. However, in matters of a hot pursuit, we are able to enter said private property. The same logic, I feel like, can apply to jurisdictional authority and moving from one county to another.
I think that's more than reasonable. Yeah.
I think that this would basically it would prevent the awkward transition between one authority to another. This is something like based on actual facts and actual events that have happened, rather than what BCSO is arguing is possible events. we found that this is an issue and it needs to be rectified.
I think this makes perfect sense for clarity as to when jurisdiction begins and where the pass-off point is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea being that if the
honestly,
24/7 is
the craziest thing
Mhm.
is that it benefits BCSO more than it benefits LSPD, but they're
Yeah.
probably still going to argue against it.
Yeah.
'Cause they don't understand what jurisdictional authority means. All it means is, the area in which you can enforce the law. That's literally it.
Makes sense. All right. All right, easy.
All right, we got to go back in.
Yeah.
I think it's starting.
Yeah, no, this was I'm gonna be honest with you, Carmine cooked more than like that. Carmine did fantastic. Jesus Christ. You gotta jump, by the way.
Whoever would like
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
a convenience store, you know, it's like impossible.
Nino, do you have food?
I got a few
I
final
do
things to
not.
say.
The food's downstairs.
I also have like a clarification, as we may not have worded it properly in what we wanted amended. I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna say this as the BCSO's definition, but this is how it's the last sentence would also be added in on the LSPD's co-authority definition. So we put the BCSO may patrol and enforce the laws of Los Angeles County, but will defer to the high command members from LSPD in matters where a situation warrants the addition of the BCSO in Los Angeles County as a co-authority. However, internal punishments need to be discussed and dealt with by both LSPD and BCSO and the high command of their
I
respective
can't give it to you,
departments.
so I'm going to put it on the ground.
Again, the co-authority for both high commands is to be overlooking the punishments of the officers and deputies. We want the high
There you go.
commands to have control over their jurisdiction and final say in what happens.
Thank you.
Like, we're not trying to say, well, BCSO has any say in what happens in Los Angeles County and vice versa. It was mainly for what, at the time that we wrote this, was that they have say over punishments, or we have say over punishments of their officers, they have say over punishments of our deputies without conferring with each other department. One last thing, because a lot of people have been focusing on the SOP side of things. We have had, I can speak personally, we have had deputies not even come on duty anymore. I've had deputies and officers come to me speaking about how demoralizing it is to be on duty, patrol with low numbers, and try to contain scenes with not enough units. Again, both sides, both officers and deputies. Units have concerns for theirs and other safeties on duty, as we've heard from every
Bro!
side.
Who the fuck is this guy?
LSP has had low numbers. They've just asked to come on.
Just transfer then! You can't just all transfer up north and be like, oh my god, I can't pog farm down south.
Not want to come on duty.
I understood something else for a second.
People shouldn't be scared that if
This is not, the Department of San Andreas.
The amendment to this legislation is to secure that now and in the future, that the control of the SOPs from the departments aren't abused because of the vagueness of the definitions. It's not. We don't like the SOPs that are being written, so we want to change this. We don't like that the ability of SOPs being written is backed by how vague the definitions are in the legislation itself. We believe if there's more wording to it, that then it doesn't allow the abuse of the SOPs in the first place.
Understood. Thank you. While we still have an open floor, who wishes to speak?
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Peters.
Woo, Mr. Peters!
Hello. I'm very confused as to why we're even here, because the whole situation in this amendment, all I've heard about is the SOPs. As far as what Bruce was saying about people coming on duty, I really don't understand why those people aren't coming on duty. I think Los Santos is a wonderful place to be, and I think there's a million things you could do even as a cop, and the people aren't coming on duty are probably subpar officers. I'll fucking say it. That being said, I don't. My experience with the SOPs and why, or not the SOPs. Sorry, I'm SOP locked because of the brain rot I've had to listen to this entire time. But the legislation that is in play and the enforcement of it and why I think it's necessary. I've run into multiple issues as the assistant chief from examples that Moss gave, as well as I think bad faith acting that I've seen with other officers. We had an incident where another officer was had somebody detained and was going to arrest them, and a deputy from the BCSO came down and ended up taking over the scene and releasing a suspect because I think that she was acting in good faith but didn't understand the situation and let somebody go that was actively committing a crime. Even as far as me going out and trying to work with the South Side and being a victim in a situation, and members from the BCSO not contacting me and going straight to the marshals over impeachment, which I believe if it was handled by LSPD, it would have been a little bit done differently. But I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say because I think the whole time it's just been an SOP argument versus legislation. And when I'm sheriff, don't worry, I will work this all out, BCSO. So thank you.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah! All right. With the time we have left, does anyone else wish to speak?
At least
in
he's
public?
working towards something.
I just have one thing.
Of course.
I suppose it's a question for Bruce. Can you explain that part about punishments again that you just spoke about?
Yeah, so previously, at the time that we wrote this amendment, the LSPD had in their SOPs, due to the legislation, that they had full authority over the punishments of deputies in Los Santos County, and they wouldn't have to defer to BCSO's commander high command as to how they would or would punish the deputies in their own county. As of 2 days ago, they have rewritten that SOP that now both high commands have to come to an agreement on the punishment.
And you want that added to the legislation? Is that what you said in your amendment?
Yeah.
So you wanted in legislation that high commands have to speak about punishment for every officer and deputy? You want to have more time spent with people in offices and not on patrol?
That's my lawyer.
Well, can he clarify then?
Yeah, he is clarifying. He is saying to you that the BCSO should have a say in the punishment of a BCSO deputy, even if they do something within Los Santos County.
If I could clarify.
And vice versa.
And
So
vice
every high
versa.
command is going to have to speak about every punishment.
I just want to say I'm not sure what
They don't patrol
SOPs they are referring to, but the current SOPs for disciplinary action are that BCSO disciplines their own deputies and LSPD disciplines their officers plus. There's no overlap.
It's been explicitly stated
Right.
about
As I've-
3 times by Bruce that when we wrote the amendment, that was not how it was written, and you changed it 2 days ago after this was already on the docket.
Can you clarify verbatim how it was written previously?
If I read it.
I mean, it's in there. I didn't remove it.
Yeah, can you read that, please, Cassidy?
Oh shit!
Because it appears to me the BCSO don't actually know what they're asking for. They've mentioned about 3 amendments, or this is what we meant to say about 3 times already.
I mean, there's no shared authority when it comes to disciplining within the departments.
Unless
Two
it's me,
separate-
they dabbed me 5 times. Remember, they dabbed me 5 times.
You
deserve
Well,
it.
you probably deserve
72
your
hours
fine.
I also think
suspension.
that you have a little bit of something off. We are giving the ultimate authority of the respective department of that county, or the ultimate authority to the respective department of that person.
Like the example Ventura gave earlier, when the LSP entered Blaine County and tried to hand over a scene, and when Ventura refused to take over a scene he had no idea about, high command from LSP then tried to force
Yeah,
to
you
send him off
used your
duty.
jurisdictional authority. Happy for you.
And did he go off duty?
They attempted to force him off duty.
Did he go off duty?
No.
The silence is deafening.
The fact that it's overstepping.
Almost
which,
like it
again,
works.
we've talked about several times.
It's not. It's
okay?
not overstepping if you're there to push them back over the line, Cassidy.
What the?
That's my
lawyer.
lawyer.
The wall. Wouldn't have to go
Build the
over
wall.
line if you didn't
Ignoring
overstep.
the blatant issue that's going on is crazy.
What if Cassidy wasn't there?
Bro, spell blatant.
Let me just restate this, because everyone's hung up on the
Then.
SOP. I'm hung up on the legislation. The definitions in the legislation are so vague that SOPs have been allowed to be written to then cause these issues. These issues weren't present prior to the SOPs, but because of the legislation, the SOPs were allowed to be written. If people want to write SOPs, that's fine. The legislation
Robin's
shouldn't
gonna hit
allow
him.
the abuse of SOPs. And as Angel stated, there is room for abuse in this legislation. The issue is with the legislation.
Hold on,
It
hold on.
allows
She
for
said
having the
there's abuse in every single piece of legislation. Please,
Including the one we're talking about.
Right.
I said there's the potential for abuse in any piece of written legislation. That's what
And
I
as
said.
we've seen, that there is abuse.
Thank you.
If the issue is with the legislation, why is it
SOPs
taking
will
you
still
3
be
months?
written, regardless.
Nah, it didn't need to be enforced until now. We didn't realize that there was going to be malicious intent until the SOP
You
was
didn't need to enforce legislation.
What?
What? Wait, does he know what that means?
Okay.
Is Scarlet Winters in the room?
Oh.
I'm not going to continue to answer your questions if you're just going to deliberately misinterpret everything I'm saying.
If
Like
the
the
SOP never
SOPs when they were
happened, would
first
we be
written?
here today?
Crazy.
No, because they wouldn't have overstepped.
So
and we
the issue
wouldn't
isn't
have
the
wanted-
legislation, it's the SOP. Thank you.
That's
The
based off the
SOPs were
legislation.
allowed to-
That's
That's my boy. Knock it off, guys. Knock it off.
We still on cold. My man.
How's it going? Just to relay back to a more on point topic. I think given that this legislation is titled "The Powers and Definitions of LEOs," I think maybe what we could be having is the addition of a definition and clarification on what authority that is being referenced would necessarily mean. I think the stemming of this issue is because we believe there's a misinterpretation on what authority intended to be interpreted as in this legislation. Does it mean
Bro,
that authority
it's like
gives
the
you right
Miss
to
America
look at
pageant.
punishments, things like that? Tell where 95 should and shouldn't be processed. Things like, I don't know, all these things that are being raised as problematic that yes are in a part of an SOP, but are enabled by this legislation. So given that
my
it's
God, he's took this long
it's
to
on
get to the
definitions
point
in this
I made
legislation,
earlier.
rather than changing wordings of jurisdictions or sub authorities or anything having to do with that, maybe just clarification on what authority is the intended, I guess,
Which
point.
is totally
what's
not what
needed.
they asked for in their amendment.
Understood. Thank you. What do you
Hey, I got some stuff.
Hey guys. Hey guys, it's oh. Thank you for the hissing. It is me, Loki Sky Lizard, aka as some of you know me, Loki Sky Snake, aka #1 Iron Mouse fan. I'm not gonna fling shit at people, because everyone already has been doing that enough. I'm just gonna say for the justice and the other justices that'll probably deliberate about this to consider, it might just be useful instead of rewording anything or amending any of the actual language, to just add in the very outer limit of what would be considered outside the scope of what the jurisdictional authority should be used for in the legislation, and then it would be a lot easier for high commands now and in the future to craft SOPs to not go over that limit, and people also know what actions would be considered impeachable and things like that.
What happened within Los Santos
Alright,
County.
Oh, but apparently you shouldn't.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Understood.
Do
Thank
whatever
you.
the fuck you want.
And we do have to move on.
So did I just get the undersheriff to admit he didn't want to enforce legislation?
I think so.
Last words
Oh.
anyone would like to speak before we move on.
I think I need to say something.
Oh, perfect.
Gym
yes.
City!
What an amazing place to end this on. Yes, get
Go on,
up.
Shan. Go on, Shan. Get up, Shan.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely make or break.
The chat.
In our case too, yeah.
Wasn't planning on it.
Is this Jimbo or Crimbo?
Hello. Hey, Jim.
Hey.
My name is Jimbo Sutton, Sergeant Mentor, Director of HR, FTO, Tolzar, Dr. Jimbo Marie Christine Sutton, MD.
Oh my God.
I think we need to all work together.
I like Crimbo, bro.
Based.
I think everything that's going on right now is not good for anyone. Daisy, I'm your friend. Are you my friend?
What
is this?
I mean, I feel like we're acquaintances, but we could get there.
Acquaintance
Now watch. Now watch.
Hey, you, Jimbo.
Bones, are we friends?
Yes.
I think that's
You had
all
to
I think
think
you
about
need to
it.
know.
Oh,
Is it always crazy?
What? Wait.
The boss is your friend.
great
Okay,
speech,
let me
Jimbo.
get outta
Wait,
here. I mean,
what
I'm
was
gonna
that
be
supposed to
honest,
imply?
like I don't really know him.
Damn.
Jimbo does it
I
differently.
think he was just trying to
I'd like to
find out if
propose a
he's got a
political
friend.
marriage between the LSPD and the BCSO to fix all of this.
I was thinking
Denied.
Yeah.
What,
We
state
just-
police?
Yeah.
Cassidy
This
and
ain't the
Peters.
Saints.
Not really, because if
Mm.
you know.
I
I think they should have to
Cassidy?
kiss in front of the justice.
Carmine and Helen.
Justice Hyatt, I
Cook.
have 2
Shut
hours
your-
before I need to leave, so if we're gonna do this next hearing, we need to do it promptly.
Alright, let's get this done.
Okay,
We
you'll
do
have
not
to
need to
default
move
so and get
around.
Bobby's
Yo.
money.
Remain where they are.
Oh,
and
allow
we'll-
that.
So,
But it would be funny.
Moss, we will proceed on to your request.
They're going to the LSPD hearing now.
We have already heard many of Angel's defenses.
Oh shit, we
so
got to change
we'll
sides
proceed.
now.
So, Moss, if you would like to come up here and state your initial pitch, and then I will give Angel a chance to refute it.
What's happening?
Yo, let's marry off Bobby.
But do you still want us to stand up at the front, Your
Bobby, you're marrying Helen, and
I feel like they
she's
should
the
swap
BCSO
for just the period.
Yeah, we should
and
swap.
we
We
want
should
to
definitely
LSPD.
Want to swap sides?
Yeah, we should swap.
Alright,
Alright,
fuck
fuck
him.
Big LSPD, come back.
Thank you,
You're like a 7.
Excuse me, high five, high
I
five.
guess it would be up here.
Move it, dog.
Oh.
Bruce, move. Jimbo, why'd you grab my ass like that? What the fuck?
There you go.
Forte, I'm not gonna vote for Nino. Stop.
That's not what?
That was surprising.
I was asking if we could do some motor search stuff after this.
I'm
Oh,
very
alright,
impressed.
that's okay.
Alright,
Yeah, we can do tomorrow. Thank you,
Your
Opal.
voice down a little bit.
Oh wait, yeah, it really is. It is. Wait. Oh, there are a lot of saints over there.
So my ass is not in people's faces,
We're
please.
here today because we're
Oh my
requesting
God.
a review and
Wait,
audit
look at
of the
Vivian's
legislation,
colors.
powers and definition of law enforcement officers. The LSPD is proposing an amendment to the definition of jurisdictions for Blaine County and the Los Santos Police Department. Currently, the definitions of jurisdictions are defined as San Andreas State Marshals, the ultimate law enforcement authority within the state of San Andreas, Blaine County Sheriff's Office,
taking
the
both
primary
accounts
law enforcement
into,
authority in Blaine County,
deliberation, I
and Los
think.
Santos Police Department, the primary law enforcement authority in Los Santos. The LSPD is requesting to amend the definitions of jurisdictions. Since the enforcement of powers and definitions of law enforcement officers, or LEOs, legislation, both BCSO and LSPD have had jurisdictional issues when calls transferred from one county to another. Through this amendment, the jurisdictional authority will be focused on where the call originated rather than where the call is currently taking place. I am requesting to amend the definitions as followed.
That's not a
San
SOP
Andreas State
issue.
Marshals, the ultimate law enforcement authority in the state of San Andreas, and has jurisdictional authority over all incidents in the state of San Andreas. Blaine County Sheriff's Office, the primary law enforcement authority in Blaine County, and has jurisdictional authority over all incidents.
Chat,
that
incidents like
originate
this make
within
me
Blaine
realize
County and
how
Los Santos
bad
Police
people's
Department, the
understanding of the
primary law
English
enforcement
languages,
authority in Los Santos,
verbiage, and
and
grammar.
has jurisdictional authority over all incidents that originate within Los Santos County. The main reason for
Which I
this
think is like
I
points
said,
at
it is
why
based
people get
on
confused with
actual
arguments
events
because
that have
they don't
occurred,
get the words being
rather than
used
just, you know,
or the
assumptions of
grammatical
what might
syntax.
occur. We found that when a call is taken over from one county to another, one jurisdiction to another, there is information that cannot be reasonably voiced to from one authority to another. It's a difficult transition.
Like the response? Yeah,
and,
that's exactly
I'd
it.
like to reference the idea of a hot pursuit. When units are conducting a hot pursuit, right, normally we do not have the authority just to enter into private property. However, during a hot pursuit, we do have the ability to do that because we are, chasing after somebody who has committed a crime. The same logic can be applied to this, and I think that it is a quality of life change for a lot of officers and deputies. I think it will just, streamline the process, and it will protect officers and deputies and their calls. In addition to that, I do believe that this also promotes patrolling in your respective counties, and it enables both officers and deputies. Thank you.
May I ask a question?
Are we open for questions yet, or?
I'm alright with questions. It's
It was-
free form. You're not required to answer though if you feel it's not.
It is just a quick one. So like with the amendment that you want, would that then mean if something from Ellis County transfers into Blaine County, that Blaine County can't just go, hey, we're taking the scene over, leave, and vice versa?
This is just a high command meeting.
Correct, because it would be focused on where the incident originated versus where it currently is. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's a lot more calls that come from Blaine County down to the city than vice versa.
That's exactly
and
what you just said.
This is
quite
an attempt to benefit both departments.
Just one more clarifying. So let's say chase from a 24/7 in Blaine County. Actually, I'll go the other way. Chase from a cash exchange comes up from Los Angeles into Blaine County. And then like the scene ends,
their
let's
comprehension.
say there's like a couple 95s, a couple injured people. Then people from
Do
Blaine
any of
County
you guys need
County
food?
can't just come over. Like BCSO can't come over and be like, oh, by the way, this is our scene now. We're taking the 95s.
That's
You
correct.
just asked the same question twice.
Okay.
I do also want to
Unreal.
state that
Answered.
this
Oh,
is
it's fucking
obviously a recommendation. If the DOJ wants to take parts of it, or BCSO wants to put in their 2 cents on how they think that they can improve this, please speak up. This is definitely could be considered, this is working. And
Any of y'all need food?
I look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Yeah, man, I'll take some.
Understood. Thank you.
I'll take some.
Let's go,
I
Moss.
don't think there's any winner.
Of the LSPD's audit that wish to speak.
I don't think no matter what, no one is winning here.
I was losing my fucking mind listening to everything.
I think you're
That's actually the main reason I'm here.
What else is there to
A lot quieter on that one. As was before, if you ever feel the need to jump in, Angel, I will allow you to do so.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that'll be interesting.
Probably respond
No, I
directly
got
when
you.
they're done.
Old like you would have
Denzel was sad about it, but then I
Well, look, he
said,
wouldn't have known what he was declaring war against.
The old like would be shooting his gun. You wouldn't know what happened. He would be
No, I never friendly fired.
It's not even a
Actually,
bad
the-
thing to do.
One of the only times I was shot, I was
pretty
friendly
good.
fired by a cop.
It seems like it's it works.
Is this the
That's
exact
an
same
NWC.
case where
Anybody
someone
else
runs
need
over
food?
the end and
But
no
I'm the
shit
bad
is
guy.
done, but
I don't think so.
It's okay.
Lucky, you need food?
Don't worry.
You guys have
All
anything
the
else
bad
you'd
guys
like to
that
say?
keep will fund that department. That doesn't make a difference between legislation and
I'm
SLP.
sorry, Angel, were you saying something?
Viv, do you need food?
Anything else you'd like to say?
On,
I'm good, thank
that's
you.
it for now.
Yeah, man.
Alright, I'm gonna
You ever done
respond then.
crane before, Loki?
So I'm not going to repeat the same arguments that we did earlier with the BCSOs, as these hearings are somewhat combined, and they're already on the record, and they don't really need to be repeated. More so, I'm going to focus in on the specific amendment that the LSPD has requested via their submission.
They're gonna
to
say,
the
well, it
document.
already says that, which
All of the language aside, which describes the nature around these requested changes, I would like to specifically read out the way that these are written. I'm not going to read them again because she already did, but the way that the jurisdictional authority is written in this new amended form would necessarily preclude agencies from patrolling in other territory. The ability to actually patrol in the Los Santos County for Blaine County and vice versa was specifically legislated And with these new amendments, that would be removed. There would be no points for a chase to originate from and go into another county because they would no longer have the authority to necessarily enforce the law in that county, as that has been removed. I don't know whether that was an intentional omission or
Wait,
wording of it,
how?
but
Wait,
as it's currently
how?
written, the Los Santos Police Department would not have the authority to pursue someone out of Blaine County into Blaine County and vice versa. So I don't know if you'd like to correct me if that's just a misinterpretation of how you've written it, if you intended it another way, or if that's how you would like it to be.
The only time you can patrol in the other county is when you move to it.
Am I allowed just to ask a clarifying question?
Oh, of course.
I'm so sorry.
Chief, I'll be up on that about questions.
I'm so sorry.
Do I take her down?
That was very. You had to
Chief,
fly.
you need to
You had to
Michael,
fly.
stop.
Right.
Knock it off.
Sheriff Bones
Thank
could
you for
never.
getting that
Chief, you got a spider.
Chief, you need to jump. Oh, I have a spider. Okay.
She's lucky.
That's a
I'm
solid
so
question.
sorry.
Great, good question. Good question.
Are you asking about the sub authority part, or is that what you mentioned?
I'm specifically asking in as it's written underneath jurisdictions, it says that they have jurisdictional authority over all incidents that originate within Blaine County, which one could extrapolate into meaning that they would therefore have authority to pursue people out of the county. But there's nothing in here that says that they have the ability or the rights to patrol in Los Santos County. Which is to say, as it's currently written, they could chase someone out of Blaine County into Los Santos County to apprehend them, but they do not have the authority to enforce the laws in Los Santos County if they were to choose to patrol in there.
No,
Well,
what?
I just didn't include the sub authority part because I wasn't looking to amend that part of it. The sub authority should still apply. I was just including the parts in which I was hoping to get amended.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't want to change anything about the sub authority. Like the sub authority still stands. You know, I can add that in. I was just focusing on the areas in which I was asking
Okay,
for
that's
an
what I
amendment.
thought.
The
It's
rest
not
of
necessary
the-
for you to add it in. I just need to understand what exactly I'm arguing against here. What specific
Yeah,
changes
no,
you're
it's
requesting.
it is literally just the part that I referenced. Everything else I didn't include because I'm not asking to change it. Does that clarify?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah, BCSO, LSPD, still sub-authorities. I think that there was other there was other text in there that I didn't include, and that's just simply because I wasn't amending it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right then.
Yeah, well, it depends.
Well, with all that being said, then, it is clear to me that something needs to change, whether that be the SOPs or people's attitudes, or maybe even the legislation. Clearly, there's something that's not working somewhere along the line, and I think that something does need to be fixed some way, whether that be through the state marshals flexing and exercising their authority to correct jurisdictional conflicts as is written, whether that be through an amendment to the legislation to specifically clarify how these conflicts might play out, or whether it be through an impeachment. Ultimately, I leave those decisions up to the justice that is overseeing this case, as I'm just here to argue for what I think should be the case. Ultimately, I am not opposed to a minor modification to this legislation that clarifies and provides simple guidelines and boundaries for which people might operate in. But I think that the basic understanding as it is should not be changed. And most, there should be simple guidelines put in place to control who can do what. And even then, any guidelines that are put in place must be measured with their respective weight in mind. And it's important that they are not too overstepping so that they don't handcuff their respective authorities.
I really don't have too much else to say on this issue. I feel like I've exhausted pretty much every argument that I have to say. And I suppose I'll just leave it to anyone else that might have anything that they want to add to this.
I could if you want. Just say
Decide. Anyone from the LSPD audit side that wishes to speak?
I'm just seeing if anybody wants to speak on it.
I'll open the floor for the rest of you afterwards.
Oh, I'll say a little bit.
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Of course.
Love that guy. Love that
I'm
guy.
sorry, Denzel.
Okay,
We gotta
this is
play
just a quick one,
politics.
and unfortunately, I'm going to throw Denzel under the bus here. Basically, I would actually agree with this amendment because we have had situations where jurisdiction has been pulled as calls changed counties. And honestly, all that's done is ended up in confusion and anger. So this simple addition rather than amendment is actually a positive in my mind, and it does put the power into the hands of the county that begins the call. That is all.
Good shit, Doug.
Thank you.
Sorry, Denzel. Denzel, sorry, but it's actually a good way to try force through.
I don't think anybody really has anything to say.
All right. We've got a far less talkative bunch. Well, in that case, if anyone does at any point decide that they have something they would wish to add from LSPD's side, you are welcome to do so. However, I will open the floor, and anyone else, if they have thoughts, including from the BCSO, about these new changes, are welcome to take a stand.
Of course, of course.
Well, I know I was here as a representative of the BCSO. I'm going to speak on behalf of myself. I do think it is important that when a scene starts, the people involved are the ones that keep the lead on the scene. There are times where people have to join the call late and they become the scene leads due to unfortunate events like people being shot and so on and so forth.
Nino?
It is unfortunate that we do have to expand.
Hello, is this Nino Chavez?
How you doing?
How you doing? This is Robbie Radish. How's your day going, sir?
It's going pretty good.
I'm to believe that you're the mayor, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I was just wondering if
Are
you
you a
could
lifer?
put a girl on. Put a girl.
You want me to put a girl on?
Put a girl on.
You trying to like fap or some shit? Like what are you like? What's going
Put a
on?
girl on.
You want me to? What do you mean by that? Hello? What the fuck? Oh, did I lose all this stuff? Oh no. Is that a bug? God damn it. Chad, does anyone know what I lost? I don't think I lost much of anything. Mostly repair kits. Oh my god. Yeah, I need to get some food and... Oh wait, I do have food. VOD check. Gimme. If I lost anything too crazy. I don't think I lost any books.
Yeah, I'll put some.
Maybe I did. We'll see.
He should figure that he's in the wrong department and maybe crime. You know, instead of bickering about legislation that only changes the position of 6 people.
Hey, come home, Quengo. Come home, Quengo.
Who are you?
Come
Arthur
home.
Peters, sir.
It's our Nepo hire. We love her.
Come home,
Yeah, I'm the
Quengo.
Nepo baby.
Oh.
So your proposal is
Yeah,
Nah, you still
actually, with all the
business.
impeachment talk, that was a Nepo hire, so everyone didn't know.
Can you repeat what you just said?
That's
Can you
my sister.
Say that one more time for everybody in the back.
Sorry, I feel the need to ask. So your proposal now is we just leave the north to burn instead? Is that what you're going for?
Yes.
No, LSPD will help anyone that needs help.
No,
Yeah.
my proposal, because he was showing
no,
me
no,
literally
no,
not
no,
even
no,
responding to
It even
some
happens in the
songs.
north.
They don't think about before they talk, Your Honor.
Yeah, I just
don't
want to
need no
say that
petition.
it's been opened up. This is not the stance of
No, of course.
LSPD.
I understand.
I don't need no petition to tell me who and who not to help. I'm gonna help everybody.
Preach.
That's what I
appreciate
say.
that.
It's not how a petition. It's not how a petition works.
Get up there, Carmine.
Oh
Oh god, he's back.
Did he just say
Carmine
that's
does
not
not
how a
speak for me.
petition works? What the? What? Well, hello.
Every time you mention taxes.
Do it.
Hello.
Send him to jail.
What's up, son? What's up, son?
A lot of people came
Ah.
up here and said,
What did he? Wait, what does he think a petition is?
Come for us. Mars go get us. She's gonna fuck us over. You know the petition you guys signed? Mars signed
Yeah,
it
chat.
too.
If you have
Wonder
a
who's gonna
photo
fire
of my
her.
inventory
Yeah.
beforehand, please let me
Chief.
take a look.
I'm
I just
here
want to
to
hope I'm
disagree with
hoping I
Mars.
didn't lose anything too
I
crazy. I don't
say
think I did
no
though.
to this. I say more power to the city. I say our perps, our paychecks, peace never, violence and war always.
You are? Yeah. If you can
Okay,
send me a
Carmine.
screen grab.
Carmine, go home. Go home, Carmine.
I have a
No.
question, Carmine. I have a question.
All right, go for it.
How long have you been a PPO?
Longer than your mom has been dead, Quago.
Damn.
That is
Damn.
too far.
Kind of got you there, Quingle.
That is disgusting.
For the purposes of
right,
fact checking,
though.
I will state that they are correct that Moss did sign this
He-
petition.
he's a
However,
PPO
to be
as
clear
well.
what this is
I
for,
cannot.
It states I, as an LSPD officer or BCSO deputy, affirm that by signing this petition, I am in favor of working
And
together
that's
with
why I
any
will
officer,
always
no
fight
matter
for you,
department,
Carmine.
legislation, or SOPs. It is not necessarily.
Chief, I'm
stating
sorry for
support
saying that
one
about
side or
you.
another. Just to make sure everyone's aware of
You
what
look
this
good
is.
today, Nino.
Yup.
Please note, according to BCSO, Moss has to now fire herself.
Oh shit.
It's not according to us. That's not what they
I
said.
would-
I would prefer not to.
Yeah, that was an
This
LSPD
guy's an
officer,
idiot.
not us.
This guy's an actual idiot.
Since
Y'all willfully
the petition got brought up again, I will just clarify. It was
Fucking
Assistant
yikes,
Chief
Jesus
Peters
Christ.
who said any LSP officer that signed a petition, he would fire and they can go work for BCSO.
You want to clarify because I talked to Silver before any of this ever happened, and I said it was a joke.
It was a joke.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to keep throwing that around and use these petty arguments for some bullshit, whatever, like go for it.
I'm just clarifying it because he's now throwing the insinuation that we're the ones saying.
Hey, why don't you just try to impeach me instead of scheduling these fuck court cases that have nothing to do with legislation and SOPs?
This is the LSP. Peters.
That's a man.
Just up there
fucking complaining.
Yeah.
24/7.
All right.
you got kicked out.
I'd like us to get back on track here.
LSPD's hearing.
Damn, I suppose we do have to. As much as I want this.
Yeah, we've all been
This
here
is the
quite a
LSPD's hearing
while.
because you couldn't control dead.
What?
What?
Okay, all right. Anyways,
No more picking and product, please. Let's get this over with, please.
What's up, guys?
Wait, I couldn't even hear what they
I
said.
feel
What did they
like,
say?
All of these arguments are getting long in the tooth, and everyone's getting a bit antsy and restless because what's already needs to be said has been said. Everyone has made their peace. They've let their opinions be known to you. Even as representing the authors of this legislation, I will willing to acknowledge that there might need to be some amendments or some possible small changes made to them. I will concede that. I think that as far as any potential arguments and opposing, I have nothing else to present, and I am essentially done with this. So if anyone else wants to come up and say their piece, then go for it. But I'm ready to get out of here. So.
I agree. That's what I say, but I'm not walking up over there. I do
Thank you,
agree, though.
Bones.
That'll be all Bones. Thank you.
My sheriff.
That's my justice. I'm not.
Well, it appears
He's
that
not talking about you,
everyone
Bones.
has
I'm not
agreed.
talking about you, son. Sorry.
Can you clear? In that case, I will start to wrap this up. I would like to start by reiterating that we are all public servants. Anyone who works under any police department should remember that. At the end of the day, what we do should be benefiting this state as a whole.
Oh shit.
Thank you.
No matter where you are patrolling, no matter where you consider your home, we care about the people of this state as much as I have a disdain for people in general.
She's back quiet.
Please keep that in mind with every decision
Someone
that you
tell
make.
us to go to the mic.
I will say there are a few concerns that have been raised regarding this legislation that I think could be worthy of considering.
Did you say you need
Particularly
78s?
the boundary of where exactly something starts and who takes it over due to that is something I would be willing to look into. However, at this time, I do not believe that either of the proposed amendments are a perfect solution to that.
Huh.
Unfortunately, I will not be accepting either of those.
Wait.
I am willing to, however, take a look at this closely and go through all of the notes that I have written from each and every party and see if we can come to a conclusion that might appease everyone. I agree to the fact that there are certain freedoms that are required to be allowed by this legislation as according to the Constitution. And I do not intend to limit
Just
those
put it in chat.
freedoms. I also do not intend to water down the legislation by just stating that essentially you are a UPD and that you do not have any specific powers anywhere. I feel like that would cause more issues than we have now. You all have the right to your own identity and your own priorities in the place where you choose to work. No one should be required to join the LSPD if they want to fight crime, as was alleged. They should have the ability to focus on the things that they care about.
Wait, so
in the
I'm
department. They should be able to do
confused.
so that is my judgment. I do not
Isn't the
have a
filing about whether it's
I would have to
constant?
look
I
into
gotta
this,
take.
with my fellow judges. However, I am willing to amend this should we come to an agreement.
What's
Thank
the
you, Your
ETA?
Honor.
What's the ETA?
I would prefer it be correct than give a specific ETA. Although I
Take as
will
long as
make
you
sure-
need.
Thank you. I will make sure that I
Stop
get
these lace
correct
masters,
from
stop
your
these
view on this, and that we try to find a far happier ending point with this. I do see the concerns from all points.
They're gonna have to vote again.
I do love a good
Wait.
happy ending.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. It
Dude,
literally
that's
said.
a-
Wait.
Incoming.
That's Crimbo.
Upon its will render
fuck.
whether the law in
Oh,
question is
it's
constitutional or should be
guys, come
stricken.
on.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
you,
you,
Your Honor.
Justice.
Thank
you,
To clarify, you're delaying your verdicts, and it will be posted on the docket later, or
It will be, yes.
Later. Okay,
Once we
good,
have
good,
come
good.
To, yes, once we have come to an agreement as a Department of Justice. I think
Nino,
that this
I'm gonna send you an
change,
invoice. Should I
given
email it
the
or
concerns
text
that
it
have
to
already
you?
Wait,
been
for what?
raised is something that we want to
For the EMT shit.
Oh, it's got to go to
Whatever
Moss,
switch
and then
for
it
me,
comes
I
to
will be
me.
available.
Okay, I'll
However,
do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
for today.
That's
Okay.
the ruling of this court for now.
I also gotta wait. I gotta wait
Okay,
till
let's
after
go,
the
let's go.
elections
Dude, I'm
because it
about
would
to
be
go.
No, we gotta
bad.
fill time in the
I'm
city.
about to-
Okay.
You know what I
No,
mean?
that's, no, it's fine.
Did I
Wait,
find
just
it?
wait till after then. Wait till
Yep.
after.
Alright, easy.
I need to go light a pack.
So I lost.
Easy
So wait,
W.
nothing
We
changes.
take those.
You just got fucking rolled in court, Angel.
So I lost because things are changing now? So I lost.
someone.
Taser,
He's hiding behind the door. Look at this guy hiding behind the door.
I'm not gonna say it in front of it. Yeah.